hear important instructions.
Your show is scheduled to start in 21 seconds. Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Nobody take no cornbread from me.
All right, we good. We'll find out, right? Let's find out together. We'll both be surprised. Hey, people, how you doing? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to the Tim Black Show. Yes, you tuned into it. Let me welcome everybody on Periscope, Facebook, and YouTube. And the phone lines are already starting to fill up. Man, that's what I'm talking about, man. People got stuff to say tonight. Let me first go check and make sure everybody can hear on Facebook and on YouTube. Real quick. See what we got going on. Let's go to YouTube. All right, YouTube is coming in, it looks like. I'm about to give YouTube a moment. I don't know what's up. It kind of did this the other night. I don't know why. Something's up with YouTube. Yes, it's yellow. I'm going to go to Facebook first and then come back to YouTube. Maybe that, we'll see what's happening. What's up, Facebook? How you doing? Julie's in the house. Uli's in the house. I got some hearts going on and some, and some thumbs up. Woohoo! Let's do this. All right, Evan's in the house, and Lisa, and George, and John. What's up, John? My man. And Julie, hey, how you doing? Bibby's in the house. Sandra's in the house. Donald's in the house. We got a nice crew of people piling in on Facebook, man. Good to see you guys on Freedom Friday. All right. Let me jump back to YouTube and see what's going on. YouTube. You know what? There may be, I'm wondering if a setting, let me check this setting real quick. Let's see what's up. YouTube. Oh, damn it. Let me see if this will do it. YouTube may be my fault with this setting here. Let's see what happens. If I need to restart the stream or not, it won't be too bad if I got to restart. Looks like I got to restart the stream, guys. But that's not YouTube's fault this time, guys. That's me. So let's say, okay, public. And let me just stop. And it's something to do with you on the phone lines, 917. Hang tight, 917. This has nothing to do with the phone. It's just YouTube wasn't getting the stream. So now they said the streaming has resumed. I'm going to give it a couple shakes to make sure it's going green. Okay, we got Sean in there. Here we go. And we got Brian. What's up, Brian, man? Hey, Karen, how you doing? Yeah, things okay. Things are okay. And you guys can hear me on YouTube as well? Hey, what's up, Cody? Good to have you. Good to have you. I also made a change so I can kind of see comments a little quicker. What's good, Johnson? Antonio T said, what's good, Johnson? What's good, Johnson? How you doing, man? And just let me know if you guys can hear me. Loud and clear, said Sean. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate it. All right, man. So everybody's good. Everybody's locked in. Facebook, Periscope. I'm just going to have to believe that Periscope's okay. They really need to. Twitter purchased Periscope, and it's like they don't care. I care about you, Periscope people. So now would be a good time, guys, if we could share this. If you can share it on your social media, believe me, tonight's going to be a great show because we definitely have something to talk about. In fact, when this news came out, I said, you know what? Hey, I don't need to do any more research for tonight's show. I know we're good because when this story popped off, I said, that's it. We're going to have to talk about this tonight, which makes my job a lot easier because I know what's on the minds of my community because I'm not somebody sitting up in CNN world or MSNBC land or even Fox News land, detached from everyone, not knowing what's going on. Since my nose is in it, my hands are in it, I know what you're thinking. I know what's mattering to you, what's going on. So the big news we know, for this evening anyway, is what happened with Tulsi Gabbard and Hillary Clinton. So, folks, I am prepared to bring everybody up to speed. If you've been working today, if you were unable to kind of catch up on this story, man, the stuff hit the fan. The caca hit the fan, people, I'm trying to tell you. And Hillary Clinton has stepped in it with the wrong one. Or maybe the right one, depending on how you look at it, Johnson. This is what happens when you go looking for trouble, you end up finding it. Check this out, guys. So here's the deal. Here's the timeline. Hillary Clinton was on a podcast with David Plouffe. David Plouffe is former Barack Obama's campaign manager back in 2008. Yeah, she was on this podcast and she said some things. Oh, did she say some things? She said some things going after, well, you know what? I don't even have to tell you. I got a clip for it. Want to hear it? Here you go.
Hillary Clinton is suggesting that Russians are grooming a 2020 Democratic presidential hopeful to run as a third-party candidate and spoil the race for the Democrats. Take a listen to her remarks in a new podcast from David Plouffe.
I'm not making any predictions, but I think they've got their eye on somebody who's currently in the Democratic primary and are grooming her to be the third-party candidate. She's the favorite of the Russians. They have a bunch of sites and bots and other ways of supporting her so far.
Now, when asked if Clinton was referring to Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard, Democrat of Hawaii, Clinton's spokesman said, quote, if the nesting doll fits. He added, quote, if the Russian propaganda machine, both their state media and their bot and troll operations, is backing a candidate aligned with their interests, that is just a reality. It is not speculation. Nia.
All right, so there you go. There was the actual. Come on back. Jose. So that was the actual claim that Hillary Clinton made, the accusation she made, and she made that statement very matter of factly, like she knows something that you and I don't know. Like she has some facts somewhere that she's going to display for us that are going to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that Tulsi Gabbard did this thing. Now, I've already seen one horrible correspondent on CBS try to play devil's advocate and tell Tulsi, well, ask Tulsi, like, how do you know she was talking about you? Come on, this is only the same smear tactic they've been using on Tulsi Gabbard all this election cycle. Ever since she announced her bid, they've been using this against her. In fact, they've been using the aside, the toady line, all this stuff, these horrible claims about Tulsi Gabbard before she even announced her candidacy. Whenever I'd see her in the media, there'll be some counter to her somewhere. So, look, and also, you just heard them say, Jake Tapper just said, they reached out to find out from the campaign, from the Hillary Clinton camp, hey, did she talking about Tulsi? They was like, duh. Come on, Johnson. How much clearer do we got to be, Johnson? Can't you hear? So the Hillary Clinton campaign isn't backing away from this. This is what they meant. This is what Hillary Clinton meant. And that's what she said. Now, bear in mind, no facts have been presented. No evidence has been presented. Just a lot of smear allegations, right? Okay, so this bombshell drops. Tulsi Gabbard responds, first off, on Twitter. Check this out.
Hillary Clinton is suggesting that Russians are grooming a 2020 Democratic presidential hopeful to run as a third-party candidate and...
Now, there's a lot of tweets, so let me load up the first tweet here. Tulsi Gabbard says, great. Let's see, here we go. You know what, let's see if we can make that a little bit bigger. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Let's do that. We're doing one at a time, all right? So the first response was this one from Tulsi Gabbard. And she's talking directly to Hillary Clinton. She says, great, thank you, Hillary Clinton. You the queen of warmongers, embodiment of corruption and the personification of the rot that has sickened the Democratic Party for so long, have finally come out from behind the curtain. From the day I announced my candidacy, there has been let's go to number 2. There has been a concerted campaign to destroy my reputation. We wondered who was behind it and why. Now we know. It was always you, through your proxies and powerful allies in the corporate media and war machine, afraid of the threat I pose. It's now clear that this primary is between you and me. Don't cowardly hide behind your proxies. Join the race directly. Booyah. Booyah, folks. Booyah. Okay. So that's where it was, okay? So we got Hillary Clinton making a horrible allegation, smear attack on Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard responds on Twitter saying, okay, I see you now. Oh, okay, so I'm glad you came out from behind the rock you were hiding behind. Instead of throwing a rock, what we like to say, throwing a rock or hiding your hand. Instead of doing that, Hillary Clinton's out front and center, making a claim, making a statement on a podcast. Not some obscure podcast. A podcast that's definitely going to get, a lot of publicity. This was all tactical from the Hillary Clinton camp. Believe that. Okay? So that's the response from Tulsi Gabbard. Look, we know it was you. Now it's proof. Now we got proof it was you. Won't you come on and jump in the race instead of running by proxy? Won't you come on instead of sending us, the media entities after us? Won't you come on and be a woman up, and deal with this yourself? Because you're afraid of me. So Tulsi Gabbard is now taunting Hillary Clinton, Secretary of State, former First Lady, former Senator Hillary Clinton. She is taunting Hillary Clinton. Now, when I first saw this, I was like, okay, go here, Tulsi, stand up for yourself. I love this. Stand up. You're telling her exactly how you feel, calling her out on her BS. And look, I'm so glad I came out like a few days ago when this first kind of started, when I saw what the New York Times did before the debates and said, hey, you know what? I don't like what they're doing. Any differences on policies, we need to all rally around this, because what they're doing to Tulsi, they could do to anybody. And this has gone way beyond what should be acceptable by anyone. I don't care if you're a Tulsi supporter or not. You should feel a certain kind of way about this. So I'm hearing all this, right? I read this. Okay. Then somebody hits me up on Twitter. They send me a note. Check out what someone sent me. Check this out. Someone sends me this DM. And do I have it here? Okay. I do not. Maybe I can just read it. Well, you know what? This is what we'll do. I know exactly what the person said, so I'll just go ahead and paraphrase it. Maybe I wanted to hide their identity, even though I don't think that tweet had their identity because they weren't a follower. So someone sent me a tweet that was an anonymous DM from somebody I don't know. Looked like an account they just created today. And they said, Tim Black, Tulsi Gabbard is a genius. And I was like, okay, Tulsi Gabbard is a genius. Why are you saying Tulsi is a genius? This person said because, remember what Tulsi said during the debate? When she said something about deplorables. Tulsi Gabbard was baiting Hillary Clinton to come out. She was baiting the Clinton camp, and she played them. She knew that Hillary Clinton had such a huge ego that they would come out and say something publicly. I don't know if you guys remember what she said. I had to go look this up because I wanted to be sure we're talking about the same thing. And just in case you missed it, this was Tulsi Gabbard during the debate when she made a mention that may have got this all started or took it to the next level. Because it was already started, but this statement at the debate may have taken things to the next level. Check this out.
As Americans, remembering that we are all brothers and sisters, that we are all connected. This is the kind of leadership that I seek to bring as president, inspired by the example of presidents like Abraham Lincoln, who talked about how we should have malice for none and charity for all. When I look out at our country, I don't see deplorables. I see fellow Americans, people who I treat with respect, even when we disagree and when we disagree strongly. I will work to restore a White House that represents light and compassion and respect for every American, regardless of race, religion, orientation, gender, or political affiliation.
All right. So what the person who sent me that DM was trying to tell me, and what they said was, this clip you just saw on CNN at the debate when Tulsi Gabbard made this statement, it wasn't as, well, innocent's not a word. It was a very tactical, strategic statement to make. And what I'm gleaming from all of this is possibly Tulsi Gabbard already knew, or she had her suspicions. Okay, remember, we're talking about a congressperson. She's not someone new to the scene. She's been in the Congress, and she has her own connections. And maybe the word got back. Hey, the smears that you're getting every time you go on the whenever you're being interviewed from anywhere from NPR to MSNBC to CNN, everywhere you go, it's like they're dogging you. We got people coming from the New York Times. We got people coming from CNN. We got people going on podcasts. Even remember Barry Weiss went on Joe Rogan's podcast and dogged and degraded Tulsi Gabbard's name and reputation. So maybe they told Tulsi Gabbard, hey, this is coming from high up. This is coming from the Clinton camp. Now, the thing about it is, we all know the bad blood. For those who don't know, Tulsi Gabbard was once a darling to the Democratic Party. They were looking at Tulsi Gabbard like she was going to be the next one. They inserted her. They gave her a slot at the DNC. She was a vice chair. And it was very evident that she could become the successor to Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Remember, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, longtime ally to Hillary Clinton, always doing Hillary Clinton's dirty work. Whatever needed to be done, that's what Debbie Wasserman Schultz did. Debbie Wasserman was hoping that Hillary Clinton would win the presidency and maybe she joined Hillary in her White House in a cabinet position. As was the same for a lot of people that you see who are very bitter. See, we got a lot of folks walking around, a lot of people on Twitter, Johnson. They think, oh, it's just the vote blue crew, the Democrats, they just believe in the Democratic Party. No, we got a lot of very bitter, virulent, pissed off, apoplectic Hillary supporters who were not so much in love with Hillary, But they have been biding their time for years, doing whatever Hillary told them to do, doing whatever the DNC told them to do, doing whatever Bill Clinton told them to do, all waiting for an opportunity to cash in on it. Where? At the White House in a cabinet position or some other way affiliated with a presidency under Hillary Clinton. And what happens? They lose. They get embarrassed by a reality show producer by the name of Donald Trump. An orange man beats him and foils him. It ruins their game. I'm telling you, a lot of these Hillary people were picking out property here in Georgetown, in my native Washingtonian, right here in D.C., in Potomac, in Georgetown, in DuPont Circle. They were picking out brownstones, $500,000 houses, already getting their furniture picked out. That's what the Neratandon crew was doing. They were all ready to come here to D.C., to move and live in D.C. and get nice cribs and walk to work. I mean, well, not walk to work, but you know what I'm saying, walking distance. They get limoed. So all that went away. So these people are very pissed off. And who do they blame for that? We all know they blame Susan Sarandon and Nina Turner and Bernie Sanders and anybody who didn't vote for Hillary, but they also blame Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard and Nina Turner, these are people that were supported by the Clintons at some point. And then Tulsi Gabbard looked around. She didn't like what was going on in the White House, well, with the Hillary Clinton camp, what was going on in the DNC. She resigned her position. And to make matters worse, a double slap in the face. Like, she slapped Hillary once by quitting the DNC. The double slap was she went and supported Bernie Sanders. Not only did she support Bernie Sanders, she was a surrogate. There is footage of Tulsi Gabbard on MSNBC and CNN supporting Bernie, calling out the Clintons. I'm telling you, guys, when I titled this video, "The Bad Blood of the Clintons," is for a reason. The reason is clear. So for anybody who's not up to speed, hope you're up to speed on that. So now we're at that point, right? We have the tweets going back and forth. We got Clinton making that statement on the podcast. Now I got for you Hillary Clinton. No, we have for you Tulsi Gabbard speaking publicly in a response on CBS to the allegations. This is beyond a tweet. Okay, so that's what I have. Hang tight. Here that goes. Check this out.
Let's be clear about what this is about. Really, that if anyone stands up and speaks out to end the regime change war policies our country has had for so long, the likes of which we've seen waged in Iraq, Libya, and ongoing in Syria, we will be labeled as foreign agents. We will be labeled as traitors to our country. So really what this is a message to every veteran in this country who has put their life on the line to serve our country, to every single American who believes strongly that we must end this long-standing foreign policy of being the world's police and waging these regime change wars, which is really the legacy of Hillary Clinton. Then we are traitors to the nation that we love. This is despicable on so many levels.
When you say regime change wars, what do you mean by that?
This long-held foreign policy of the United States, of which Hillary Clinton was a champion of for a very long time, of going around the world, acting as the world's police, overthrowing and toppling dictators that we don't like. Again, wars that I've served in, the war in Iraq, the toppling of Gaddafi in Libya, and the ongoing regime change war in Syria. This is what we're talking about. This is what I have been strongly calling for an end to. And this is the reason why she and her minions are trying to smear me, smear my character, and undermine my campaign, labeling me as a foreign agent, as a traitor to my country.
But Congresswoman, with respect, Clinton did not explicitly name you in that podcast. So why are you addressing her comments and bringing more attention to them?
Come on. Let's be real here. Look at every single headline that's come out of her comments on that podcast. Every single one has my name in there. So let's not mess around here and pretend that it wasn't something that it was.
Would you ever consider running as a third-party candidate, as she believes?
No.
You possibly would.
No, I've said that many times before. I've been very clear. I will not be leaving the Democratic Party. I will not be running as an independent or a third-party candidate. I am running as a Democrat to take our party back, away from the control of people like Hillary Clinton and the warmongering and corrupt, powerful establishment, and return our party into the hands of the people. Make it so that the Democratic Party is once again a party of, by, and for the people, a party that will fight for the people, fight to protect our planet, and that will fight for peace.
All right. Now, okay, so now we have Tulsi Gabbard on the record on CBS making a statement, right? In fact, she didn't just do CBS. She did Fox News and I think NBC. Well, she did a couple of other entities as well. Same background, on the fly just this evening, speaking to what happened on Twitter and her response to it. So I want to point out, guys, look, Tulsi Gabbard said this is about war, regime change war, and I agree to a certain extent it is about that, but it's also about that bad blood I just explained to you. That's the reason why it's so personal for Hillary. Of course they would smear her for supporting ending the wars. Of course the party of unions and the party of the working class is really the party of the military-industrial complex. But so are both parties. Okay? So if that was the case, if it was just about military-industrial complex, why is it the Republican Party smearing Tulsi as well? In fact, the only place Tulsi gets treated with any respect, besides independent media, and some of independent media, not all of independent media, is when she goes on like Fox News. So I don't think it's just about the military. I don't think it's just about ending war. I don't think it's just about wanting to bring the troops home. I think it's also about the bad blood and the stranglehold that Hillary Clinton still has on the DNC, and by association, she still has a stranglehold on corporate media. But what I'm seeing now is I'm seeing people who are like, hold on a second. Hillary done stepped in it. Hillary she has muscle, but she didn't have as much muscle as I think Hillary thinks she has. So Hillary's ego is so big, she thinks she can do whatever she wants to do. This is a gift to Tulsi Gabbard. Hillary's hubris is a gift to Tulsi Gabbard. I'm looking at Tulsi Gabbard, I'm like, how is Tulsi Gabbard going to make the next debate? How is Tulsi Gabbard going to finish? How is she going to, complete this run? How is she going to do this strong? Because I believe her future is bright. And then comes this. Man, it's Christmas in October. That's right, it's Christmas in October. Because Hillary has such a big head, such a big ego. Johnson, she just giving out gifts. Oh, man, this is what she gave her she just gave Tulsi a new lease on life, a new lease on her campaign. This is good for at least three-point bump. Hell, this may put her really in contention for front-runner status. This will push, mark my words, this little stunt by Hillary Clinton that she thought would sink Tulsi Gabbard just pushed and propelled Tulsi Gabbard past Kamala Harris. And I'm thinking she's going to be up there with Buttigieg. Mark my words, if this is played correctly, this will immensely help Tulsi Gabbard. And to think, the Clinton camp is now helping Kamala Harris. I believe the Clinton camp would have rather had Tulsi Gabbard than Kamala Harris. I think, obviously, Tulsi is a much better, much more savvy politician than Kamala Harris. And that's who they would rather have. There's a lot of bitter pills going on. But I want to go back to just one thing. Now, in that podcast, Hillary Clinton made an allegation that Tulsi Gabbard is going to run third party, right? That's what she said, right? She's cloaking all of this in the fact that, in idea, because I don't know if it's facts, but in the idea that Tulsi Gabbard's going to ruin it for the Democratic Party, and she's going to run independent, and she's going to split the vote, and this is how we're going to get more Trump. That's the allegation. That's what Hillary's using to kind of buttress this horrible action. Well, guys, you don't even have to look far. You heard Tulsi Gabbard just say she has no intention of running third party, right? Well, she said that months ago. Just to prove it, here goes the clip of Tulsi Gabbard saying the exact same thing when asked that question almost a year ago. Check it out.
Exactly.
You didn't make this debate. You may make the next one. You're sticking in the race. But fact is, you're well behind what is a pretty established group of frontrunners in this race, including the former Vice President Joe Biden. If you don't win the Democratic nomination, will you run as an independent?
I will not. No, I've ruled that out. I'm going to continue to focus on moving our campaign forward, continuing this grassroots campaign, continuing to deliver our message to the American people and ask for their support.
Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard, we wish you the best of luck.
My bad. It wasn't a year ago. I'm sorry. But it wasn't that long. I mean, it was a while ago. It was a couple months ago, right? So this is not new. And don't tell me that no one knew that Tulsi Gabbard made this statement. It's part of the reason why I'm kind of wondering why everyone's saying, like, you know, they jump on Bernie, but Tulsi's not going to run third party either. So if your litmus test is you're saying that Bernie's sheep herding people into the Democratic Party, well, because he won't run third party, Tulsi's not going to run third party either. She's on the record repeatedly saying the same thing. I'm not going to run third party. I'm not going to run third party. How much clearer can it be? I think that people make up things because they support a candidate, and they just, instead of just saying, hey, I support this candidate because there's something about them that I believe in, I have faith in. These are intangibles. I like their policies. I like their track record for the most part because no one's perfect. But you can also say, you know what, I just believe in them as well. That's the thing that pushed it over. So just say that instead of coming up with these reasons that are really not grounded in anything. You know, accusations just to kind of like give yourself cover for the way you feel. And that's fine. We're human beings. We're allowed to have gut feelings, but I just like it when we include that with facts, with evidence. And the best evidence is past action. So we got Hillary Clinton making an accusation against Tulsi, the whole nine. Tulsi Gabbard responded and using this to great benefit. Man, look, guys, I'm going to say it. Tulsi Gabbard may be the brightest, one of the brightest. I can't say the brightest. I'll say one of the brightest politicians I have seen since I've been covering politics. She is amazing. She is savvy. She's gutsy. She plays for keeps. She's not hedging. You read those tweets. She's not playing around. Can you imagine Cory Booker fighting back against Hillary like that? No. I don't think he would. Can you imagine Amy Klobuchar dueling it out with Hillary like that? Can you imagine Senator Elizabeth Warren duking it out with Hillary? No. I don't see it happening, man. Tulsi Gabbard, she's tough, man. And I think she deserves all the support, all the props for what she's doing. Hey, I'm Tim Black. I'm just going to tell you like this, Johnson. If Tulsi Gabbard can put together domestic language, domestic rhetoric that is that of a populist tone, to bring it full circle, to couple that with her foreign policy, she got a shot. That's how strongly I feel about this, because one thing I've been telling you guys, and I've been saying this from day one, go back to 2015 with me. Go look at my channel. I got 3,000 videos. Look up Hillary Clinton. I've always said, Hillary Clinton is so hated that there were people who were in hospital beds on ICU. When they saw that Hillary Clinton was running, they got a new lease on life. They yanked the IVs out of their arms. They pushed aside their heart monitors, and they put on their pants and their shoes, and they took an Uber, and some of them walked to the polling station to vote against Hillary. That's how much people don't like Hillary, Johnson. You best believe if Tulsi Gabbard can couple her foreign policy, I've been saying it again, if Tulsi Gabbard can couple her foreign policy with some domestic policy, with some more populist rhetoric, we may be looking at the next president. Look, you think I'm joking? I'm not joking. Tulsi can run against Hillary. She can run against Trump and Hillary at the same time. The reason why we had Donald Trump is because Hillary ran against him. Trump would not have been able to use half the ammunition that he used if it would have been somebody other than Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton, all the things that Tulsi Gabbard saying, Hillary is the dreck around the neck. She is the weight, the anvil around. And it's not just Hillary. The Clinton dynasty is a weight around the neck of so many of the Democratic Party and of the DNC. It's been that way, and it was continued under Obama. Tulsi Gabbard could run against Hillary. She could make this primary about Hillary, and she could start calling out candidates based on their affiliation with Hillary. We could start seeing all of these Hillary cronies having to distance themselves from Hillary. It could happen, Johnson. That's how toxic Hillary is. And Hillary coming back is a detriment to anybody any of these people anyway, any of these Democratic candidates other than Bernie and Tulsi. She is a detriment to even be on the world stage, guys. Trump can run. See, because Trump can tie Hillary to everyone else except Bernie and Tulsi. Folks, I truly hope that Bernie and Tulsi mend all fences, if there's any fences to mend. Maybe there's none to mend. Maybe we supporters need to mend the fence. Tulsi and Bernie could win this whole thing. Tulsi may even be able to win it on their own. And I've never spoken this. I've never felt this way until now. This is a big deal. This is a huge deal. What do Tulsi and Bernie have in common? They both went up against Hillary. Wow. This is amazing, guys. All right. I think that's everything. Oh, I'm not going to play a clip. I just want you to know, Bakari Sellers, if you don't know, he's a horrible individual. He made claims about Tulsi Gabbard on CNN. Look, I don't normally call for brothers to lose their jobs, even sellouts like Bakari Sellers, the sellout. But when you can go on cable news and be able to spew whatever line, talking points you want, and then be asked back, not have to produce a single fact to back up or support your allegation, then claim that anyone who called you out is a Russian bot. CNN is not a news organization if they allow this. I'm not saying Bakari needs to be fired as a contributor to CNN. And I ain't even saying he got to go home. But he got to get the hell out of here. All right, guys, let's go to phone lines. I tell you, man, they what a night, man. I'm going to stop talking. I want to hear what you got to say. Let me put the phone number up for anybody who doesn't know what it is. Lord have mercy. We got so much going on. Let me go back here. Let's see. Call in. I got a couple different call-in numbers. There we go. 319-527-6212. We're back to using Blog Talk Radio tonight. 319-527-6212. I'm going to go to phone lines, guys. Bear with me. First caller. I want to make sure the volume is good to go. I want to make sure everybody can hear you. Guys, share this on your social media. We're keeping it real 100. The topic today, we're talking about Tulsi Gabbard. We're talking about this race. We're talking about what happened with her and Hillary. Let's try to stay on point, something around that area, because that's what this show is dedicated to. All right? So let me know, guys. 917, you're my first one. Thank you for your patience being in the queue. And 917, you're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name and what's your comment?
Yo, Tim Black. It's your boy KJ from Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. I can't hear the show on the phone. Can you hear me?
He said he can't hear the show on the phone. Damn. He said he can't. You can't. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you, KJ. God damn it. Let me see if they can hear you, KJ. Damn it. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. All right, my caller said they couldn't hear the phone. They couldn't hear the show on the phone line. So let me see if my YouTube people could hear. Could you hear the callers, YouTube people? Can you hear the caller?
All right, the caller said they couldn't hear the phone. They couldn't hear the show on the phone line. So let me see
They
if-
can't hear. They can't hear.
Did you hear the caller?
Yes, we hear him. They can hear you, KJ, but KJ said he can't hear me. Okay. Okay, so
Did you hear the caller?
all right, guys, I'm gonna have to reboot the call, man. Goodness gracious. All right, so we're on fire tonight, man. A couple people in the comment section said we're on fire tonight. They said, I'm doing my thing. Look, guys, I'm just keeping it 100 with you. I'm definitely not going to lie to you. I'm definitely not going to sugarcoat it. It is what it is. This is what I feel. I feel that Tulsi Gabbard, she's been given a gift from Hillary Clinton. And sometimes people do that. They let their egos get in the way, and they end up hurting themselves. So that's what I think Hillary did. And not only is she hurting herself, she's hurting Joe Biden. She's hurting Kamala Harris. She's hurting Amy Klobuchar. She's hurting all the centrists in the race. She's even hurting Elizabeth Warren with this. So check this out. While this is rebooting, Sean Graham says, I support independent media. Come on, people, let's blow up the super chat tonight, man. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate you, man. Larry the Truth said, Hillary Clinton is an example of corporate scumocrats. Corporate scumocratics. Larry the Truth again, he said Hillary lost to Wonka's Oompa Loompa. Oompa Loompa. All right, Benny Ford, he says, if Clinton controls the media attacks, does this explain Bernie smears too? Bernie's rising up versus Hillary, sit the F down and shut up. Wow, Benny. Wow, I hear you, man. Logging back in now, guys. We got a new member by the name of Rennie. Rennie Suede. Thank you, Rennie, for joining the Tim Black Wolfpack. We appreciate you, Rennie. Welcome to the family, the community. Mr. Daly to you. Thank you for the super chat. Bethlehem says, man, she's my hero. I just love her. That's a comment about Tulsi, obviously. I don't think anybody's going to say that about Hillary. So no need to tell us who you're talking about. That's bad. That's how bad it is to be Hillary. Cannabis sativa. Dim policy wonks don't win. Why don't Dems get this? I don't know why they don't get it. It seemed basic to me. Don't it seem basic to you? SS Breon says, Tulsi's a warrior. Thanks for supporting it, Tim. Hey, man, every time I get out, she pulls me back in. Every time I get out, she pulls me back in. Hey, look, her actions pull me in. Not her words, not her smile, her actions. That's what it's all about. Her actions her actions warrant this reaction. You get what I'm saying? And that's what we want from our politicians, right? We want them to move us by what they do, not just by what they say. Tulsi Gabbard moves you by what she does. That's why she is special. She takes chances. She comes harsh. She comes direct. I think she may. Damn it. Add to her foreign policy, add some more domestic policy, and add the rhetoric of populism. Add the rhetoric and add the black folks. Hey, I love who you got around you. Great people, your sister, everybody you work with. Add some color. Show me that you're really trying to win this. Add some color. You ain't gonna win the presidency without black folks. Add some black people. Black people. Do it. It ain't gotta be me. Add some black people. Get some black people that can speak to demographics that you're gonna need to win. Don't get me excited about your candidacy and then you not do this. You gotta do it. Gotta get fluent in your rhetoric about these issues. Tulsi Gabbard, you are cooking with gasoline. Right now you can make yourself over right now. I'm telling you, man, this is big, guys. This is big. Hillary just gave Tulsi Gabbard a new lease on her campaign. That's right. All right.
start your show now, press 1. To hear important instructions,
Since it appears you're calling back into a live show, we are reconnecting you now.
All right, guys. Now let's see what we got with the phone lines, man, because I'm back up. And back to 917. 7. How you doing, 917?
Yo, Tim Black.
Hey.
Boy, KJ.
Oh, man. That's what I'm talking about, man. What's going on, KJ? What's on your mind, brother?
My brother, long time, man. Doing good. Everything's well in New York. You know, hanging in there. Yo, bro, it's been a while. I haven't called in. You know,
man.
And
how are you, brother?
I'm good, bro. Things are going well. I can't complain. The trickle down is still working for me, so I can't complain. You know, when I heard this news today, let me tell you, and I've said this to you before, that I've always said that Tulsi is my favorite, and she would be the only one to truthfully give my man Trumpy a good challenge. Because I'm sorry, all these other clowns trying to run don't have a snowball's chance in hell against my man and a strong economy. So this whole thing with Hillary coming out her ass with this statement about her being a Russian operative, it's so bizarre that it almost struck me as it's like a setup for something. Like there's got to be more to it, because as badass crazy as I think Hillary Clinton is, even this takes the cake, man. This is like I was shocked when I heard this, and you know, like I said, I've always spoken highly of Tulsi. I'm very impressed with her. You know, people don't understand. I'm a Trump guy because I just pick winners. And, you know, I pick people who win competitions, whether it's American Idol, whether it's presidential elections, whether it's Super Bowls. I've always been that guy. I just see things a little more differently than the rest of people. Even though I live in New York City, I still have a bird's eye view of how the country is, because I have relatives throughout the country. So I tend to see things a little less emotional, a little more, you know, I'm more like Spock. So I'm definitely, you know, and, you know, at this point, somebody's got to really step up for the Democrats. Now, the problem is that they see her as, and I've always felt this, they see her as a threat. And man, talk about pushing her to the side. None of the liberal networks were giving her a shot. They weren't giving her an ounce of fucking coverage, nothing positive. She was on my man Tucker last night. She's been on Tucker Carlson at least 5 times. And every time he has her on, that's, you know, and Tucker is definitely a bit more moderate than most Fox guys. I really don't watch other Fox guys. Tucker is pretty much the only guy I can deal with. And she was on, and just every time she's on, I always say, you know what, this is a very impressive person, and all she needs is something. Because, you know, we live in this screwed up world where unless it's, you know, it's like NASCAR, you know, nobody watches to see who wins. They just want to see the car wrecks.
Right.
And this whole situation with how things have been going for the Democrats, now that Sleepy Joe is definitely not, as much as they want to hand the ball to him, he could barely get off the bench at this point. So he's done. Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas, snowball chance in hell. Bernie, listen, Bernie should have had it the last time. You know, I've always said that as well. You know, I'm not a hardcore Republican. I'm not a hardcore conservative. So, people misconstrue me because I support Trump. It's not about that. I just like to see a good battle, a good race. And at this point, seriously, Tulsi is the only one that would give Trump a run for his money. Wow. So fingers crossed. I hope and pray that, you know, because trust me, the last thing I want to see is a shellacking. We already went through that with Hillary, and I said it. You know, I called it when everyone else said it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
So the last thing I want to see is another shellacking. It's boring. It's not, you know, and I just think that she definitely, you know, listen, the bottom line is she comes from a different place. She's pretty much uncorruptible in the sense that she doesn't really owe anyone to anything, and she served the country as well as she's just a very intelligent, well-spoken, and not to mention smoking hot. So, I mean, she definitely has it working on all cylinders, and as far as I'm concerned, she's got to get it, and if she doesn't get it, it's going to be just a cakewalk for Trump if the economy stays going. Which it is starting to see some signs, and it's inevitable. We've been in this bubble for a bit too long.
True.
It's about to crash. It's got to crash like it always does. But at this point, like I said, man, I'm glad this has happened, and I hope this puts her in a more, favorable spotlight, especially with the liberal media, because she deserves it more than any of these other clowns. Appreciate you taking my call, brother. Great talking to you.
You got it, man. Thank you, KJ, man. Good to hear from you, man. Know you're doing all right, man. KJ is our resident Trump supporter, man. I missed him, man. He hadn't been calling up for a while. It's good to get different voices on the show, man. And KJ said, look, man, I'm not a hard-nosed conservative or anything like that. I just wanted Trump to win. I can't stand Hillary. And wanted to mix it up. And want somebody going to fight for the economy. He's a small business owner. So, and that's one of the reasons why Tulsi resonates. You heard her in the CNN debate. That was her closing remark. She said, when I see Trump supporters, I don't see deplorables. I see people that are U.S. citizens or Americans, part of our family. We need to reach out to them. So that type of talk, that type of rhetoric, that type of positioning is powerful stuff, man. I think that one thing we cannot miss in this, it's not just about Hillary. I agree with KJ when he said, is this a setup? You know what? People get mad and do dumb crap all the time. It may not be a setup, KJ. Hillary could just be that crazy. I mean, I've got mad. Look, I remember this. Now, I'm not trying to spark beef. A couple years ago, I used to let Jamal Thomas come on my show and use my platform to let people know who he was. That's something people would usually charge for. I didn't charge him a dime. I let him come on my platform and just use and live stream. I didn't make any money off of him. I didn't put his videos out. He just live streamed, let people know who he was. I thought he was a unique voice. It made me feel good to give back, to help somebody do something that no one helped me do, right? And then we had a falling out, a couple of incidents where, we had a falling out, okay? I asked him, hey, he get on my platform and he talk about me. He talk about what I talked about earlier that day and disagree with me. And people were like, Tim, why you got somebody on your platform who's calling you out on your own platform? So it happened a couple times. Third time, I was like, that's it. I was so mad, I went and did a live stream, and I said I was mad about Jordan and a bunch of stuff, and I ended up yelling at Jamal. Well, Jamal used that as an opportunity to make not one video about me, not two videos about me, 3 videos about me. It wasn't a plan for me to give Jamal an opportunity to make 3 videos about me. And I'm not saying my name is Hillary Clinton, but what I'm saying was I was so pissed off that I gave Jamal a gift. I gave him the gift of being able to use my name in 3 videos. It got to the point his people was like, damn, Jamal, why you keep making videos about it since you don't care? You said you don't care, why you keep... So what I'm saying is people make mistakes when they get angry. I made a mistake. I should have just severed ties with Jamal and just not talked about it. But no, I had to go make a video. So the point of that is when you get high-headed, you make mistakes. And other people who are strategic capitalize off your mistakes. Tulsi Gabbard has capitalized off of Hillary Clinton's mistake, which was her hubris and her hot-headedness, responding to Tulsi Gabbard, what she said in the CNN debate when she made that comment about Trump and deplorables. We knew who she was talking about. So I'm going to go to the next call, guys. But it doesn't have to. Oh, one last thing. And just because I might forget it later, I'm sure someone will bring it up. Ain't it something that Hillary Clinton could go after not just a veteran, a member of Congress who's an active member of our military? Tulsi Gabbard is a major. Come on, guys. Come on. This looks bad on the Democratic Party. This looks bad on the Democratic leadership. This looks bad on the DNC. And if it was anybody else, this would be horrific. But since it's Hillary Clinton, there are people with rumblings, but most people are being quiet. That just goes to show you how powerful Hillary still is. She's calling out a veteran as a Russian asset. Look, dude, if Putin likes Tulsi because he likes her politics, or if some group in Russia or a bot farm or anything, how does Tulsi control that anyway? Somebody could like you or me. Somebody could like my show and send me followers or retweets. I got nothing to do with it. When you call somebody an asset, that means they are working with this other entity. That is a serious allegation to make. And to make that about an active military personnel, a major who has people reporting under her, people's lives are in her hands. She's directing other servicemen and women. You're calling that person an asset of an enemy state, basically, Russia? Guys, that's horrible stuff, man. You can say you don't like a person's politics, you disagree with their foreign intelligence or their foreign policy, you disagree on the way that they see the world or whatever, but to go so far without actual hard evidence and say that they are actually working with Putin, God, I said I'm gonna go next call. I just had to get that out because I may forget. That's disgusting, man, and we shouldn't allow that. I don't care who it is. If it's Tulsi or anyone else, we should not allow that. And we got Kamala calling out Trump for using Twitter. What about Hillary Clinton using the airwaves, using various media platforms to call an active member, a person in good standing in our military, and a person in Congress as a Russian asset without any evidence? Where are you, Kamala, calling out Hillary on this? See, they only care when it's somebody they don't like. Get what I'm saying? I had to listen to Kamala make these claims about Trump, about trying to get him off Twitter all this time. What about Hillary? Shh, everybody quiet. All right, I'm going to go to the next call, guys. Thank you for your patience. Johnson, this is effed up, Johnson. All right, next call. 252, thank you for being patient. I'm going to you now, 252. What's your name? What's your comment? 252. 252 sound like he or she is on the road.
Hello?
Hey, you're live. How you doing?
Hi, Tim. How are you? This is Carol from Fayetteville, North Carolina.
All right, now, what's on your mind tonight?
What's on my mind is that Hillary Clinton needs to stay in the dungeon or go back wherever the heck she came from. I don't even know why she's out here speaking on the presidential candidates when she is not even one. I have no idea why anybody is talking about this lady as if she holds some kind of clout or bearing on what's going on today in politics. I just don't get it. She lost. She's disgraced. She needs to go on and peacefully bow out with her husband. It makes no sense for her to still be trying to stir up trouble for no reason. And as far as Tulsi goes, I think it's definitely it's like a mixed bag. It's like she's so great on foreign policy. I love her anti-war stance. And I do believe if she becomes president that she will indeed get us out of the Middle East and get us out of a lot of these regime change wars. But her backpedaling on Medicare for all is it's a no-go for me. It's a no-go for me. It is a big no-go for me. And no matter how other people in the progressive circles try to clean it up, it does not, for me, make right what's going on in her campaign. I mean, I think that she is a wonderful progressive. I think other than Bernie, she's probably the only progressive in the race. And that's just me being honest, but that's just what it is. I hate to call it as that, but that's what it is. I just hate that so many people get lost on the foreign policy, and it's like they forget about the domestic policy, about how America as a whole has essentially forgotten about their own working class people. The middle class is done. It's upper class, and it is essentially the poor. There is effectively no middle class to speak of. And it's just like, what are we going to do about it? That's why I support Bernie. That's why I will continue to support Bernie. And I'm sorry, I hope Tulsi gets better on domestic policy. I want her to get better on domestic policy, but until she does, I will not ever support her again. Her stance on Medicare for all, cancel the deal on that. That's all I have to say. Thanks for taking my call, Tim.
Absolutely. Thank you for speaking your mind. I appreciate you. And you know, I very much think that you are, I agree for the most part with you. I think that Tulsi Gabbard, I think she was looking for a way to differentiate herself from Bernie, be her own person, be her own candidate, not be in the shadow, and come up with her own legislation. I think she used very poor language when she said Medicare choice, and it was already out there on that program on NPR, and then it was everywhere, right? I think if she could have it over, she'd do that a different way. Okay, I think she would do that a different way. I agree with the domestic policy; needs to get better on that. But yeah, I mean, I can't argue with you. I want her better on these issues. When it comes to people who are, you know, they support her because she's anti-war. She's an actual peace candidate in a way that is different. I haven't seen this since Kucinich. In the way that she is unequivocally, I think she's about that, and I believe that her being active military has something to do with that. She says all the time she's seen the cost of war, right? So I'm sure that has affected her in a fundamentally deep way that I will never relate to. I mean, viscerally, what she's seen. I just think she needs to add more to the repertoire. And it is what it is. Yeah. But I thank you for phoning up. I appreciate your phone call and telling it like it is. What can I say, man? I think that some people aren't as, you know, like I say, man, the hit dog hollers, right? So some people are focused on domestic policy because of their station in life, because of their kids or their cousins or their nephews or their parents or their neighbors, right? And we're more focused on domestic policy. Some people are not in that position. And they see war a different way, and they see domestic policy a different way. Maybe they're not so intimately attached to what's going on financially for so many people. And, you know, I also, you know, so I don't know how, another way to put that. They just not getting hit. You're not getting hit, I guess you ain't hollering. All right? 917. You're live, 917, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hello.
Hey.
Oh, hey, Tim. It's Kennedy from Brooklyn.
Hey, what's up, Kennedy? How you doing, man?
Great to hear you, man. It's great. It's been a bit.
No doubt, man. No doubt. Wow, wow, wow. Right, Kennedy?
So, pow wow chow. Yeah, I have to go to Fiddlesticks and see if it's being served. I have to duck out with Warren drinking her beer. So, yeah, this is gangbusters. I can't believe Hillary Clinton came out of the woods for Tulsi Gabbard. It is a gift. I think when you call out evil, I mean, right now, Hillary Clinton is walking a tightrope because everyone's forgotten about Epstein. But if she's going to go toe-to-toe with Tulsi, I think Tulsi just needs to call out Epstein, call out Weiner, call out Epstein,
Clinton Foundation,
Silsby, who she got out of with her connections from the Clinton Foundation, the lawyer for Silsby, Ghislaine Maxwell, who went to Chelsea Clinton's wedding. I mean, she's entangled in so much pedophilia. I mean, I don't want to get your channel in trouble, but various things that are pretty salacious, and she's picking on the wrong person. I mean, Tulsi's an upright veteran, the congresswoman, and to have Hillary Clinton come out, I mean, it speaks to me that she sees her as a viable threat, and she's right. And Hillary Clinton should duck and cover instead of putting herself out in the open. But again, her hubris really is her undoing. I think she played her cards a little too soon, and she just put herself out on notice. And I have suspected that Hillary Clinton is going to try to get into this race. I think she's going to wait until like October, so she has less time for gas. She's not going to pull Joe Biden. She's going to wait. So while people are excited about it, she'll get in right under the wire. But yeah, she's really devious. So I don't trust Hillary Clinton, and for that, I applaud Tulsi Gabbard for just going for the jugular and calling her out on Twitter. I mean, I read those tweets, and it was like, it's like Tulsi was riding with a white suit and a white cowboy hat on a white horse and just shooting silver bullets at Hillary Clinton. But yeah, it was fantastic. So I'm excited to see what comes of this moment, because I think it really is a trajectory-changing moment that Hillary Clinton gave Tulsi a gift. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm still, rooting for Bernie and Tulsi, but if Tulsi, can pull a magic trick, who knows? But at the very least, I think she'd be a fantastic VP for Bernie. I think she'd be the one who could watch his back, unlike Elizabeth Warren, who I told you before, I feel like she would stab Bernie in the back as quickly as she did in 2016. I think Tulsi would actually protect him, because the military-industrial complex wouldn't want to snub out Bernie and then end up with Tulsi in charge. So I think that would be a safe bet to watch his back. But anyway, Tim, it's great to hear your voice. Glad to hear you back on online, and yeah, I'll talk to you sometime soon.
Thank you, Kennedy, man. I appreciate you, man. On point as always. And yeah, Kennedy,
Thank you, man.
You got it, man. Kennedy sent me a picture of a restaurant. I don't know, it's called Fiddlesticks. Man, I love, man. You guys on point, man. Johnson's really on point, man. I appreciate you guys, man. Oh, Fiddlesticks. Oh, man. And you just named a whole grocery list. Kennedy named a grocery list of issues that Tulsi Gabbard can pull out. It's just like a bag you just reach in and just pull out something. It's just horrific. You know what I mean? So, yeah, the Weinstein stuff. Like the Weinstein stuff and the Epstein stuff and like more Clinton Foundation stuff. I mean, there's more dirt now than there was before. You realize that? All right, we'll go to the next call. I got a 904 number. 904, you're live Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Tim, what's up, baby? Can you hear me?
I hear you, man. How you doing?
That's what's up, buddy. Hey, my name's Josh. I'm from Florida. I'm a registered Democrat. My entire family is registered Democrats. In 2016, every single one of us voted for Donald Trump, right? We didn't do it proudly. However, all of us felt like we were completely driven away from the Democrat Party, especially because of Hillary Clinton. This stuff that's came out today is completely asinine. The reason that Tulsi resonates with Trump voters is because of her foreign policy, and she's anti-war. So many people voted for Donald Trump because he was anti-war. He ran as the anti-war candidate. But the entire military industrial complex, it does not make money during peacetime. These are big multinational corporations, and they depend on war to keep the money machine going. And if Tulsi gets in there, the money machine stops, and that's the thing. That's why you see this big concerted effort coming from everyone, because she's the only anti-war voice out there. And check this out, man. Down here in Florida, there's a lot of Trump voters, right? We all love Tulsi Gabbard down here, man. Everyone down here has love for Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard is the only one who could beat Donald Trump. If she ran and it was Trump versus Gabbard, I would vote for Tulsi Gabbard, and so would my entire family, all of us. And we're all registered Democrats, and we just voted for Trump in 2016. How crazy is that, man? There's one of the things that people need to understand. There's a difference between a Trump voter and a Trump supporter, right? Trump voters will not be all loud and braggadocious about it. We're quiet because we weren't proud about what we had to do or what we thought we had to do. Trump supporters are loud and braggadocious about it, but there is a lot of us quiet Trump voters who are begging for someone like Tulsi, man. Personally, HRC is the reason that all of us left the Democrat Party in 2016. And I can't stand that woman, man. And she is so unpopular down here. It just blows me away how much power that she still wields in that Washington bubble. You know, man, these media elites, they got to go. We need to have a grassroots movement. Everyone's got to get together, and we got to get these old folks to turn off their TV and quit getting their news from cable news, because that shit's fake as hell. And that's all I got to say about that.
I hear you, man. Hey, look, I want to thank you for the phone call, man. Great phone call, brother. Thank you so much. He made a distinction, and I've never heard anybody put it quite that way, man. There's a difference between a Trump voter and a Trump supporter. Trump voters did what they felt they had to do, given what was in front of them. Trump supporters are loud and braggadocious about it. Whole different animals. So I appreciate you making the distinction. And if Hillary, remember Hillary with the deplorables and the basement dwellers, she said a lot of horrible things. It's totally just, why does she think she shouldn't even be a politician, man? Like, there has to be a certain level of smoothness or charisma or people person type of something. Hillary will insult the people she needs to vote for her. She will incite and she will incite the other side's voter base with her rhetoric, her hot rhetoric. I mean, it's completely idiotic is what it is. I mean, I've gotten a hot head and I've done things I shouldn't have done. I just said, I said something about Jamal Thomas I shouldn't have said. I'm saying his name now. I shouldn't be saying his name. Right? That's a mistake. But, gosh, man, she's got advisors. A campaign's like a corporation. It's got stockholders, basically a board of directors. It's got people that come in and just order pencils and pens, and had people that handle logistics. And they meet, they have a war room, and they got a lot. I mean, I'm one guy. Now, I make a mistake. That's one thing. Hillary making big mistakes after mistake, big mistake after mistake, mistake. Thank you for your phone call, brother. 912. 912, you're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim Black. This is Antonio in Atlanta.
What's up, Antonio? How you feeling, man?
I'm good. I'm hyped, Tim Black. Woo! See, I'll just go back to what I said last time we talked about the issues between the Bernie and Tulsi camps, with us calling each other Bernie bros and Tulsi cultists. I would say, like what you said, there's a time for passionate disagreements on policy differences between the candidates. I understand that and I applaud that. But in these times, we see the real fight, Jonathan. It's time to go against these establishment clowns. And we see both of our candidates destroying it this week, man. Bernie Sanders destroyed Joe Biden in the debate, and Tulsi Gabbard just obliterated Hillary Clinton's whole career right here now. I mean, this is the fight. And I'm glad to see, all the progressives supporting either candidate in what they've done this week. And as far as I see it, once we have Bernie Sanders and Tulsi Gabbard in power, and my dream ticket is Bernie Tulsi, but Tulsi Bernie, I could see that too, like you were saying with her foreign policy and his domestic policy. I mean, they're the progressive champions that can call out the establishment. And Bernie hasn't explicitly called out Warren yet, but what he did to Biden, sliding Biden Johnson. So, right. I mean, this is the fight, and I'm glad to see we recognize that we have our disagreements and we can discuss that later. And all I was saying with the hostility is that when we resort to saying cultists and Bernie bros, I mean, that's what the establishment uses against us. And why would we use that between each other when majority of the time, I mean, it's just substance that we should be arguing about, not using, you know what I mean? That's just what I was saying about that. But I welcome the debate on Medicare choice versus Medicare for all, right? It's just not the cultists and the Bernie Bros nonsense. But basically, I'm hyped, man. This is the fight, and Tulsi is definitely like this is changing things right now, and I'm here for it, and we'll see where this goes. But Bernie, Tulsi, Bernie, I don't care as long as they call out the establishment and get in power, and we support them. And we can discuss everything, the particulars, once we have them where they should be. But I'm glad this is where we're moving towards, where we're calling out these people on the world stage, so to speak, with Bernie on the debate stage and Tulsi on Twitter. And the last time I saw Tulsi's tweet, it was at over 150,000 likes, Johnson. Now that's going somewhere, if you ask me. But that's all I have to say. I'm sorry, man. I'm just hyped about it all. But no.
It's all good, man. Thank you for the phone call, brother. I appreciate it, man. Good to hear from you, man. It's been a minute, Antonio, man. But yeah, man, I understand completely, man. I mean, you're right. I didn't even put the two of them together, you know. Bernie rocked Joe Biden's world, and not in a good way, Johnson. And then we got Tulsi, who just peeled off of Hillary Clinton. I mean, goodness gracious, guys. Get a medic in here. Get a medic in here. Need a cut man. Bring the mop. Jesus. Somebody call ambulance. Remember the bus driver, the uppercut dude? Oh man. Anyway, the war vet who went ballistic on that dude talking smack to him on the bus. This was years ago, man. And people were egging him on. They were egging on the little dude, like, oh man, you shouldn't let him talk to you like that. And he put his hands on that war vet, and that war vet hit him with those big poles. They weren't even fists. They were like polar bear sized hands this white dude had. Old vet. He beat the brakes off this guy on the bus. And all I remember was all those people that was egging the guy on to mess with the vet. There was women on that bus who was egging him on. All they said was, oh, he leaking. Well, right now, Hillary's leaking. And all the guy said after he got punched in the mouth from the vet was, call the ambulance. Somebody call ambulance. He couldn't even say ambulance anymore. He said ambulance. Somebody call ambulance. So right now, Hillary Clinton somewhere drinking some wine, holding her mouth, going, somebody call ambulance. Somebody call ambulance. Call ambulance. I told you not to mess with her. I did not have sexual relations with Tulsi Gabbard. I tried. She turned me down. Now I'm stuck with you. I don't know why you got to be talking all the time, Hillary. Why you keep talking, Hillary? Why don't you just sit down? I tell you, man, there's always something. You're always running off with the mouth, Hillary. You just shut your ass up. Maybe we could stay out of trouble. All right. So you got me going, man. 404 left. I got another 917 number. Let me try this another 9. I got a lot of 917s. Let me see if this is a new 917. You're live, 917. Hello?
Hey, what's good, Brother Tim Black? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Who's this?
This is Leroy calling out from Las Vegas, man. I talked to you before. I remember asking you about, like, what reparations look like to you.
Yeah, man. Thank you for calling in, man. What's on your mind tonight?
Hey, not much, man. I'm just, like, really, really loving that debate, man. Bernie, he just, man, it wasn't even fair. He just, like, pretty much is, like, curb stomp Joe Biden right into the street, bro. It was, like, crazy. But, like, well, politically anyway, let me make sure I watch my burgers, you know. But, but, you know, like, I'm getting tired of, like the same exact way that Bernie said it, even though they tried to give the credit to Elizabeth Warren, about how he's tired about their talking points and, you know, on Medicare for all. I mean, I don't know. What do you think he should do? I'm thinking that he probably should just do like a before and after, 2 different paychecks, right? Of what people are paying with their private insurance tax right now. We know what that is, co-pays, deductibles, all of that stuff. And then like after with the Medicare for all. This is how much you're going to be paying. No deductibles, no, co-pays, none of that stuff. I mean, people are visual learners. So, I mean, I know I get it. I totally understand what he's doing, what he's saying, and it makes sense to me. But, people are hearing his talking point, and then the rebuttal is, oh, but you're raising the taxes, and that's all that they're really paying attention to in the long run. So, I mean, I think he should probably do something like that because, I mean, he's even I got a video from his YouTube channel today talking about explaining how to vote in the Nevada caucus because, that's coming up pretty soon. So, like, he could throw something out there in his video like that, maybe get some of his staffers to offer up their paycheck of what they're doing right now or something like that so they can, do like a comparison and just like, obviously wipe out their information and all that stuff, but leave the actual numbers and the breakdown so that people can actually get it better. But I don't know, man. That's what I'm thinking. What you think about that? Or do you think you have another way that he can overcome the talking points that just keeps getting repetitively, get repeated all the time?
Well, look, man, I want to, first of all, thank you for the phone call, man. I appreciate it. And, as far as Bernie, yeah, man, I think that you may be onto something with that. I think you do. People do learn better. Some people learn better with pictures, man, a visual representation of what he's trying to say. Somebody good for that, guys. I don't know if you know him, but Robert Reich, he does a lot of Facebook videos where he would use a storyboard and he would kind of like tell a story. And it would always be very simple, very easy to understand. He never got, not like he writing out formulas to E equal MC squared. He did it real simple. Anybody could get it. And just kind of laid out whatever he's diagramming for you. So I think that's one way to do it. I said in the video, man, I don't think he should try to get too fancy with trying to hide the truth. You're right. He should lean in and be like, yeah, if you're paying, your taxes might go up. Your taxes will go up. But you won't have copay. You won't have, you won't pay co-payments. You won't have these other forms of out-of-pocket expenses. You won't have the premiums. All these things you have to come up with. And another thing about it is people regret or people avoid going to the doctor, I think, because of those co-payments, because of those premiums, right? Because of that, so those deductibles, because they got to pay. And just imagine all the lives that could be saved if people only had to worry about it once a year. You know what I'm saying? Like, just imagine the difference. I think that a lot of people would go to the doctor a lot more, and we'd have a lot more healthy country. We have healthier families and communities. That's what I believe. So, yeah, you're right, man. There is a way to demonstrate it, I think, so it's more visual. But thank you for the phone call, man. I appreciate it. 425. So this is when it starts rolling. 917. 425, how you doing? You're live Freedom Friday.
Woo! Hey, Tim. How's it going, brother?
Hey,
Chad from Seattle.
What's up, Chad? How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling pretty good now that Tulsi stole Clinton's cornbread, man. Dude, I just loved every fucking drip of that. Oops. Sorry. But, yeah, see, the thing is, the one thing about that, I think that was a really good move. And it kind of moved me back towards looking at Tulsi like, all right, okay, your policy's a little rough around the edges. That's cool. Maybe with 4 years as vice president, maybe we can groom a little bit of that out of you and put you on track for some Bernie legacy. You know what I mean?
Wow.
2024, I think she could totally make that presidency rock, dude, and make it real.
Wow. Could be.
I mean, calling out Clinton like that's thunder, dude. That's thunder. Dude, that was like rolling all viral too, all over Twitter. I saw that it just kept rolling and rolling. I was like, holy Rolodex. I was like, look at that.
Right.
But yeah, I think that one thing that's probably the case here, if I had to roll back here, that sister from North Carolina that you were talking to?
Yeah.
That's why I was talking to that, because I think she's like totally on mark. I love the people who call in and talk to your show. I think that they're just pretty much awesome. And rolling through that was a concern of mine too. I don't like that policy about Medicare for all and that whole pivot point that she did about Medicare for what you wish for, because here comes the public revolving door. And yeah, I didn't like that either. But I just thought that was so cool that all of your callers might have been on mark. And I really love this show, so I wanted to appreciate you for it.
Hey, man, thank you, Chad, man. I definitely appreciate that. And, yeah, man, you're right, though. Like Tulsi, man, she is, like I said, it's okay, man. Her actions are on point right now. And that's what matters, right? Actions. And if we can push her along on the policies, hey.
That's what's up. But, yeah, the other thing, with Bernie, getting his thunder as well, I'm really seeing a real good move here for tomorrow, and I'm really excited about that. You think you're going to be covering any of that?
Oh, man, yeah, I'm going to cover some of that, man. Definitely. The rallies in New York, I heard Michael Moore's supposed to be endorsing them as well.
Oh, yeah. And did you hear that maybe even that secret speaker is not really just AOC, that it's actually somebody else from the New York?
Wow.
Kind of like Fields here?
Didn't know that. Okay. Now I'm excited to hear this. I haven't heard that.
Okay, yeah, if I find what I was looking at there on Twitter, I'm going to go ahead and DM you on that. But look out for Capital Kung Fu, because I sent you some other stuff too.
That'll work.
All right, my man. You guys have a great rest of your night, and keep calling to Freedom Friday. This show is awesome.
Hey, thanks, brother. I'm glad we back, man. Thank you, Chad. Yeah, man. I'm glad we're back able to stream on our main channel, man, because this is what people are used to coming to the show. Just so people know, if you're just your first time watching, we do this every Friday around 10 p.m. And then I do a show Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, where I just cover the news, okay? And usually I would do a little bit more news before the show just to kind of give people topics that are whatever's going on during the week. But come on, guys. We knew what we were going to talk about tonight, right? We got to talk about this. Come on, Johnson. Let's keep it real. This whole thing just sucked the air out the room, man. I want to go back to it, man. It takes audacity. Think of the audacity you got to have to call out not just a vet, but an active member of the military. Remember that guy Crenshaw with the eye patch? SNL said something about him. It was like a joke. Not only did the guy, what's his name? What's the little comedian dude? Not only did he have to apologize, they had to bring the veteran on the show, made him a star. All because somebody made a joke about him. That's how powerful Hillary is in the DNC and in corporate media. She could call an active member of Congress, an active military major, something she's never done. Hillary hadn't volunteered for nothing except sleeping with Bill Clinton. I said it. And she gets to call out this active member, degrade her name and her reputation, and what happens? A couple of people in independent media is going to take her to task, Johnson. But do you think that they're going to call her out at MSNBC? You think they're going to drag her for the weekend? I think not. Or you just be helping Trump if you do that. Why? Hillary's not running. Or is she? Do tell, Johnson. Do tell. All right, I'm going to go to the next call, man. I appreciate you, Chad, for calling in, man. I tell you, but 559, you're live. Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Brother Tim, this is Brother Eric from Minnesota, originally from the other California.
Brother Eric, what's up, man? Talk to me, brother.
Oh, boy. Well, I definitely share your enthusiasm to a large degree. I mean, it didn't change my mind completely about voting for her. I mean, I think, again, she's still a little young, a little green. But honestly, she's playing her part. And I want her to keep doing what she's doing for those who can't. Bernie can't do what she's doing. He's already being criticized for what he's doing as it is. Can you imagine if he went after, especially like Hillary Clinton? They can't accuse Tulsi of being sexist. They can accuse her maybe of being, a self-hating female, but I don't even think they would almost go that far because that's almost too dangerous. She's too pretty. I mean, let's face it. I'll just add another kind of realness log to the fire. I don't think people would be. It'd be interesting to see what would happen if she looked like Janet Reno. And I don't know if people remember who Janet Reno was. She was the Attorney General for Bill Clinton. Google it, and there you go. But she's playing her part, and she's playing it very well. And she's pointing, I think, to a bigger issue, and that's the big money versus small money, insiders versus outsiders. And what I mean by insiders, it's like Hillary Clinton, even to a small extent, Elizabeth Warren, but definitely, I mean, fill out the list. But then the outsiders, I mean, she would definitely be one of them. You get Bernie, for sure, leads up that, tops out that list. And you're also seeing who the people are going to want. I mean, I get a kick out of. I would very much strongly disagree with. I think was the first caller you had, a buddy of yours, who thinks that Trump would mop the floor with everybody. I mean, and he kind of, tap danced a bit when he got to Bernie. I know why he tap danced when he got to Bernie, because I won't get into that. We'll just keep it on, try to keep on point. But I think she's playing her part in the sense that, she can talk foreign policy. I don't think any one person can talk both, everything. You can't have Bernie talk foreign policy. I don't think you can really have Tulsi talk total domestic. You can't have everybody be everything. Ask Ralph Nader how that worked out. He was everything. He talked about all that stuff. And if people listening, I'm sure most remember, some don't. Again, Google him. But I want people like Hillary Clinton, I want them to keep doing what they're doing. They are going to do far more damage to themselves than we ever could, because their stuff speaks for themselves. It's like old, Slide and Biden, right? This is facts. This isn't anything we're coming up with. This is the man's record. So, same with Kamala Harris. Same with the laundry list of them. This speaks for itself. It's one of those things, how they say in sales, it sells itself. And it's a big telling, because let's take a look at Elizabeth Warren, because she's the only other one that's raised a lot of money from small money donations. But here's the thing between her and the guy, because, I mean, obviously I like Brother Bernie, but the difference between him and her is, who are the donations? Who are the small donations coming from? He's getting the floor workers, the retail workers. And I mean, if I remember correctly, you grew up in a blue collar family. I'm actually why I called you brother Tim, brother Eric. That's related to the union. I'm actually part of the IBEW. My dad's the same thing. Electricians, tradespeople, craftspeople. Those are the guys that are donating to Bernie, who are donating to Lizzie Warren. It's the professional class. It's what we call the 20th floor people, right? The ones that are up in the offices. They don't get their hands dirty. They probably haven't turned a wrench or a screwdriver or drilled a hole or sawed a board in years.
Yep. Absolutely.
So that's this is one man's humble opinion. I appreciate what you do. I mostly appreciate your analysis, brother. Keep it up. It's refreshing.
Man, thank you for the phone call, man. I appreciate you calling up and speaking truth to power, man. And I'll tell you this, like KJ, he just believed that Bernie should have won in 2016. That's what he believes. He think that Bernie had his shot and he was robbed. So, like, he's been calling for a while. But I understand your point. And you're right. It's interesting for you to say no candidate can do it all, can cover all bases. And I am seeing some, I'm seeing some shades of that now. How you have to have one area and that be your area. And there's some people who don't even have that. People like Cory Booker don't even have that. People like Kamala Harris don't even have that. But look how good Andrew Yang's doing. Look how good Tulsi Gabbard's doing. Look how good Bernie's doing. Elizabeth Warren, because she's focuses sort of on corruption, kind of. But not to the degree as Bernie, so it doesn't really land as well. But you get what I'm saying? I get your point. And maybe you're right. Maybe we shouldn't want or expect so much from one person, just because then they have a muddled message. They don't have what they would say in the business world, a USP, a unique selling position, right? So that's what Tulsi has when she talks about foreign policy, when she talks about ending regime change war. Think about all the people who've called in tonight and they've used those terms exactly that way. End regime change war. End regime change war. That's in our lexicon because of Tulsi saying it over and over and over again. She said it so much, I was like, Tulsi, come up with another way to say that, please. No, keep doing what you're doing. Who am I? Who am I to tell you what to do? Yeah. But I'm like, God damn it, I got to keep, I cover so much of it. It's like I could say her speeches myself. But it works. It resonates. Because to the average person, they want troops home. They don't want troops dying in far-off places. So, all right, guys, we'll go to the next call. I appreciate you guys. 503. There you go. 503, you're live, Freedom Friday. How you doing?
Hi, this is Jason Moon from Portland. Hey, Tim, how you doing, man?
I'm good, Jason. What's on your mind tonight, man?
Well, I wanted to say, I discovered you during during 2016, and I've just been listening to you, watching your show grow, and you're just so on point and refreshing. Like, I listen to a variety of different progressive talk shows, and I always find myself jumping back to your show because of your insight and just your view. So anyways, but to get to why I was calling in, I honestly, if Hillary jumped in, it probably helped Bernie. Not that I want her to, just because it would pull votes away. And I really am concerned because I feel like as a society globally, we're running out of time with climate change, and Bernie is just so much more radical in the sense that it would change the paradigm rather than putting on Band-Aids. And like Elizabeth, I feel like she lacks spine, and so I'm just a little worried, man, because what happens when the convention comes around, there's not enough delegates, and the super delegates come in, and God forbid Biden, because like when the primaries were going on last year, Bernie was doing good. He I can't remember the number, but he gained a lot of ground against Hillary. But the Democratic primary, just with them splitting up the delegates, it just got me worried. So I wouldn't mind hearing your insight on that and how you're feeling. But Bernie's got a good ground game in Iowa, so I'm excited to see how that goes. Thought Bernie did great during the debates. Yeah, man, that's just about it. And just wanted to thank you, Tim. I love listening to you. You're doing a great job, and I look forward to calling in again and chit-chatting with you.
Thank you, Jason, for the phone call, man.
Bye-bye.
I appreciate you, brother. And you're right. It is something to be concerned about. We know what happened to Bernie last time out, man. They consolidated, and they Bernie places where he crushed it. They still gave Hillary the delegates out of that. I can think of one, Minnesota. Yeah. Amy Klobuchar. Al Franken. That's why I never felt too bad for Al Franken. Oh, isn't that special? Hey, aren't you a scumbag? Aren't you a scumbag? Yeah, they went against the will of their people. The people chose Bernie, and I said, you don't know what you're doing. We got to go with Hillary. Hillary's special. So, yeah, what's going to stop that from happening again here in 2020? Us. Mobilization. Like that's all we have. I like to think that our independent media is stronger than it was then. I like to think that people are more awake than they were then. And yeah, I said awake. Look, man, Trump, he did do something there. People woke up, man. People are paying more attention. That's one thing that Trump has done. A lot of us woke up behind Obama, was like, oh, we got a black guy in there. All right, he's going to make some. Hey, he's worse than the white guys. He dropped more bombs than the white guys. What's going on? He ignored black people and made black people feel bad for even asking for stuff. This guy deported more people than the white guys. What the hell? You know what? That's it. That's it. My whole life I was waiting on a black president so I could stop wondering if a black person could be president. Then we get this guy, and he ruins it for me. Damn it, Johnson. Talk about getting stabbed in the back. But thank you, Jason, for the phone call, man. We got a ways to go. We're going to keep fighting. 850, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Oh, hey, Tim.
Yo, hey, how you doing? Who's this?
Alyssa, I'm in Pensacola, Florida.
Alyssa. What's on your mind tonight, Alyssa?
Well, firstly, I wanted to say thank you for always being so neutral when you cover Tulsi Gabbard and everybody else, Marianne, everybody. You're always very neutral. Tulsi is my number one, but I don't get mad when I hear critiques, from folks like you or Jamal or Kyle Kalinske or whoever. And so I appreciate that. And I always kind of had a suspicion that maybe she went in with an agenda, thinking that, Bernie's going to get screwed over. Whatever delegates she's going to get, she's going to hand them over, that kind of thing. And I don't know if that's, I don't know if that makes sense, but I still kind of think that might be the thing. After I saw everything go down today with Hillary and her stuff, and I saw you and other people say, "Oh, this is the best endorsement ever," for Hillary to sit there and go after her, and sharing that with my lifelong Republican parents. And I was an independent myself up until last year. For like 15 years, I was an independent until last year. In Florida, we don't have open primaries, unfortunately. So I finally had to take that hit and switch. But I've been sharing Tulsi Gabbard and everything about her with my parents. And they seem to be swinging a little bit towards her way. I don't know if they're going to vote for her. My mom, she was, like I said, she's always been a Republican, but she voted for Obama the second term. I didn't vote for Obama the second term. I voted third party his second term, because I realized, like you just said right before you brought me on, that it was a joke. It was all a joke. He wasn't a progressive. He wasn't going to do anything for the American people. He was going to drop bombs. He, in his own words, was a Reaganite Republican.
Yep.
Really. So, and I support Bernie mostly. I prefer Tulsi for some reasons, but I prefer Bernie on a realistic level. I have 6 kids, and my oldest child has type 1 diabetes. And, of course, we all know, all of us Bernie supporters know what the reality is for type 1 diabetics. And when he took that busload of type 1 diabetics up to Canada and made that a reality to Americans, and I saw in his face, I saw it, how disturbed he was, how families dealing with type 1 diabetes, the kind of, the fact that we have to face death every day. And it's a weird thing for me to sit here and say, we're lucky enough to be poor enough to qualify for Medicaid. Otherwise, my son wouldn't be alive. But I worry because he's going to be 17 next month. And then a year later, what's going to happen? How is he going to be able to afford his livelihood?
Yeah. Absolutely.
And so I support Bernie. I do still support Tulsi for many reasons. She's my number one pick in one way, but I still haven't kind of decided whether or not I'm going to who I'm going to vote for, him or her. I don't really know what her Medicare choice thing means.
What that actually is. Right.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I hear you. Like, you don't know exactly what it entails yet because she hasn't really explained it yet. Right.
Right. I don't know. And as far as I've always been aware, it seems like most of her policies are pretty much aligned with Bernie's, or at least that's just been what I interpreted. So, I don't know. But regardless, of course, I don't support Elizabeth Warren, because I know anybody that has a tie to Big Pharma, and I can just watch her videos and her reactions and know that she's not going to give families like mine what we need.
All right, sister. Well, listen, Alyssa, I got to keep it moving, sister, but I want to thank you for calling up tonight. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
Thank you, sis.
Good night.
Good night now. Wow.
Good night.
Yeah, and she's putting. I appreciate her sharing her story about her son, and also especially I want to thank you for saying that you think that I'm pretty fair when it comes to it. I try to be. I don't have any personal grudges against any of the candidates. I'm a human being, though. Of course, like Marianne Williamson took time out from her schedule, came on my show. Andrew Yang took time out and came on the show. So, that's I'm a person. How could you not appreciate that? But besides that, I think Marianne really has her heart in the right place. And Tulsi Gabbard, like I said, she's doing things that, and what they're doing to her makes me want to rally around her. I'm a human being, But what I won't do from now on is I won't just assume, because I used to be like you in a way. I just looked at Tulsi and said, well, she's pretty much got the same policies as Bernie. Now I'm learning, well, that ain't necessarily true, and maybe I shouldn't have made that assumption. My bad, so I think that's part of it, because she was so close to Bernie and people just saw him as a team. I was posting the pictures with Nina and Tulsi and Bernie back in 2015. It's just the way I saw them. But she's her own person. She may have her own vision for what a Tulsi presidency would look like, and she's entitled to that. But we're entitled to take a good look at that and make our own minds up based on that. So that goes both ways, and that's the way it should be. She's her own person. You judge it on her own merits. And, but when you see somebody getting smeared to the degree, I've been covering them smearing Tulsi for months, almost a year now. And it has a cumulative effect on a person who does content. I mean, go to my channel. Pretty much everything I've done on Tulsi was a defense video from a smear that they laid on her, whether it be The View, whether it be an interview on MSNBC, Morning Joe, or that horrible, I forget the horrible woman, the horrible panel she was on MSNBC was different from Morning Joe. Or if it was, Joe Rogan's podcast with the Barry Weiss or, and now this, and then the New York Times article, like every time I turn around, they were smearing her. It's just ridiculous. So after a while, it's like, hold on a second. If they hate her this much, she's got to be an ally. They hate her too much, man. Come on. So they're overlooking, I can't overlook the fact that the people that don't like me don't like her. So am I nitpicking a little too much because they don't like her? They really don't like her. All right, I'm going to go to the next call, y'all. I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you, Alyssa. 817, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim. Hi. This is Johnny from Fort Worth. I really love your show. My daughter would call you the bomb-ass diggity. Really. You got a great show. You got a great show, and you really, I love the way you present. You present really great, and I almost couldn't stop laughing a few minutes ago, a couple of calls ago. But here's my thoughts. Tulsi Gabbard, I agree with that guy that tweeted you. I think she is brilliant, a brilliant calculating politician, not like Elizabeth Warren. Now, that's really my point of this call. We have to be careful here. I think the neoliberals in power right now will not have a Keynesian Bernie Sanders in the White House, and they will not have a politician like Tulsi Gabbard who will so affect the economy by reducing the war effort, right? And changing the regime change words. Yanis Varoufakis had a YouTube video a couple of years ago when he was trying to get the Greek economy back on track and pay the IMF off. Was told by the IMF chief or whoever it was, he said, listen, you can change parties all you want, but the economy you can't touch. So we have to be careful because, believe me, I'm all for Bernie. And Bernie, Tulsi, Bernie, either of the two. And I believe that you're right when you see that some candidates can't have it all. You know, I think those two really complement each other. But again, the neoliberal power right now has so much power that they will not allow, you know, through previous callers' comments, how the superdelegates work and all that. They will cheat our whole country out of really good candidates to move the country forward. So what does that leave us with? That leaves us with Elizabeth Warren. Now, a lot of people say that if Elizabeth Warren were to be our nominee, which I really believe she will be, not because I want her to be, God forbid, you know, I want Bernie and Tulsi, and we're working hard to make that a reality. But, you know, we have to live in reality and understand that it is rigged, and they have the power to rig it, and they can do what they want because there's nothing to stop them from doing that right now. So if we end up with Elizabeth Warren, here is a ray of hope. Bernie Sanders said that in trying to make a distinction between him as a Keynesian and her as a supposedly neoliberal, said Elizabeth Warren is capitalist to her bones. Now, I recall in the 1930s, another capitalist, FDR, who was an aristocrat that actually turned around and told the elite, screw you. I'm going to do for the people. So here's my question to you. If we get cheated, Tim, if we get cheated again, do you think that we will, as a nation, we will be so soured by what Obama did to us that we will not go to the polls and take the chance that Elizabeth Warren actually will be an FDR and say, you know what, I'm here because her strength, you said it before, we all know, was the banking regulation, right? Now, banking, you know,
what's your question, John?
Right?
What's your question, sir?
Okay, here's the question. Do we back Elizabeth Warren? Does she lose the nomination?
Okay.
If they cheat Bernie and Tulsi, does she lose? And is it because we don't trust her? And if we don't trust her, are we missing out on a possible new FDR?
All right, Brother John, thank you for the comment, man. Thank you for the question. I will answer.
Thank you, Tim.
You got it, John. Let's cut to the chase. If they nominate Elizabeth Warren, Trump is president another 4 years. Doesn't matter if you trust her or not. That's what's going to happen. That's it. It's a wrap. You heard KJ call up. KJ put it as simple as can be. It's an up economy. An up economy, first of all, it's hard to unseat a president. It doesn't happen that often to begin with. Then you add in the fact that we have an up economy. Then you add in, we're talking about Pocahontas herself, Foxahontas, Foxahontas, Foahontas. Excuse me about the Pocahontas. We add in a flip-flopper who doesn't have the ability. Those selfies, look, I'm going to be at Politicon next week. I'm going to take a lot of selfies too. That does not mean people are really energized. As much as they've seen you on the news, maybe people wanted a picture. You're going to need a lot more people to actually get up and come out and fight for you. I do not believe that Elizabeth Warren evokes or invokes the type of excitement that will make people who never voted before say, damn it, I got to go out there and vote. I'm inspired by this woman. That's what you're going to need to beat Trump. Elizabeth Warren does not have that capability. No matter how much they prop her up on MSNBC, no matter how much they showcase her on CNN, no matter how much they protect her on CBS, at the end of the day, when it comes to working people, when it comes to Latino vote, the black vote, it's not going to happen. It's a wrap. So it doesn't matter if they don't give it to Bernie or someone, Bernie or Tulsi or Bernie, then we'll have more Trump. Period. End of discussion. Thank you, John, for the phone call. Let me go to 404. 404. There we go. You're live, 404. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim, can you hear me?
Oh, damn. Hold on. I'm sorry. That's 917. Hold on, 917. The queue moved on me. 404. I'll come back to 917. 404, you're live on Freedom Friday. How you doing?
Tim, can you hear me?
I hear you. How you doing? What's up, Marvin?
Okay. What's up, man? This is Ray, man. Ray.
What's up, Ray? How you feeling, man?
I just wanted to say a couple things, man.
Yeah.
I'm good, man. How you doing, man? I watch the show all the time.
Man, I'm doing excellent, man. This Friday, brother.
Yeah, it is. I just wanted to say a couple things real quick. The last caller, first of all, I disagree that this is an up economy. This is not an up economy. This is a low-wage economy, and you can tell by the interest rates. It's a very low-wage economy. If a 1% interest rate hit us, we don't. Now, as far as it goes with Bernie being in like they're taking it away from Bernie, no. Not with the time. Not with how this time is. People are suffering. And it's going to be a little worse in 2020. So they're going to have to, we're going through Trump to get to Bernie. That's all it was. That's all that needed to go on. This is just how things are flowing. But as far as it goes with Tulsi and what she did on Twitter, Hillary's been playing in the background for a while, and you can tell. You can tell by all these candidates, Hillary's been playing in the background. Tulsi just, brought it to the front. Mm-hmm. We'll see what happens next. I don't believe Tulsi's going to be able to do an interview on any corporate media at all. It's going to have to be social media that she does all her interviews on. She probably can go on Tucker, but I don't think that's going to last too long either. So.
All right. Well, look, man, I appreciate the phone call. Look, I'll tell you this. No, as far as the economy, look, I'm not saying it's real. I'm not saying that it's real. Come on, man. I'm a person who doesn't believe those numbers at all about unemployment. But the world does. A lot of people do believe that, man. Now, I just believe that there are enough Republicans, enough conservatives who are going to have the same gag reflex they had for Hillary. They're going to have the same reflex when it comes to Elizabeth Warren if she was the nominee, and they're going to come out and vote against Elizabeth Warren. I believe that. I don't think that Elizabeth
90 seconds.
I don't think Elizabeth Warren can win over any votes at all. I don't think she's strong with independents. I think the people that she would excite are people. It's not enough of those people that are going to win an election for. Hence the fundraising numbers of Bernie Sanders, hence the volunteer numbers, hence all the offices around the country. But, on the Tulsi Gabbard, she's already doing it. Look, man, there are people that don't like Hillary. I played a clip at the beginning of the show. Maybe rewind
60 seconds.
Rewind the show to the beginning. You'll see CBS already did an interview with Tulsi. There's also MSNBC that's covering it. Aaron Burnett, right, with Van Jones did a segment calling out Hillary. I was surprised too. So this is playing out a little bit different than what I expected or what you may have expected. But thank you for the phone call, man. And yeah, we'll see. I'm a little bit more optimistic about the nihilistic media that we have. There's more focus on dollars. I'm more, I see that they care less about ideology and more about that dollar bill, Johnson. And they're going to see dollar signs out of Tulsi Gabbard. They're going to see, this is going to play all weekend, first of all.
10 seconds.
This is an all weekend thing. This may even dampen the ceasefire in Syria. I mean, this is that big. They're going to be talking about this all weekend, Johnson. Okay, I'm going to go to the next call because we're running out of time. But I appreciate your phone call. 917. Now I'm back to you, my friend. You're live on Freedom Friday.
Yo, Tim, Mr. Boy, Sam in New York City, man. What's happening?
Hey, what's going on, Sam? What's on your mind, my friend?
All right, I'll try to be quick. Oh, man, first off, I was so surprised to see you. I'm flipping through YouTube. I'm saying, who's that dude killing it on the Hill? Oh, of course, it's got to be Tim Black, man. So, okay. I'm like, he brought swag to that right there. Swag and policy. Just laid it down. So I thought I'd give a shout out to that.
Thank you, brother.
Anybody's watching it, just search him. It was a great interview. So a couple things I want to just run through real quick. First off is just one thing on the side is, Tulsi's even being attacked. I hate to do the whole, name drop and all that, but, Anna shot a tweet at Tulsi saying, oh, our army, our forces there are not regime change. It's to protect the Kurds. And it's like, okay, you should probably bring on, Max Blumenthal or Ben Norton or one of these dudes like you did, because you'll learn actually the U.S. has been occupying the oil fields in Syria as a way to economically starve the country. That's kind of what happened with that whole Iran oil tanker being seized thing. So, yeah, they're not maybe fighting the military directly, but it's called balkanizing the region and taking natural resource. But, maybe she should probably look into that. So that's one thing. Two is I was going to talk about CNN because I saw Jake Tapper had a panel with it, and I was going to, rip into them, but I didn't know Van Jones covered it. So, when I said Jake Tapper did it, and some woman just goes, on the panel, well, I think Hillary's just bringing attention to the fact that Russia could interfere with us. And she then said, well, that's the most optimistic view. And I'm like, that's a BS view, but whatever you want to call it. But, when people are so shocked, why did Hillary do this? We all have to remember what happened in 2015. In 2015, there's a 2014, you have to forgive me on the date. Remember when Bernie's running against Hillary, right? Tulsi's in the DNC. She's the vice chairman. And she steps down, and the reason she steps down, she goes to progressive media, whether it be the Young Turks or the Real News Network, what have you, and she says, it's clear from where I'm sitting, they're rigging it against Bernie. She was the first one to admit it. And what did the Hillary camps do? No, that's not true, blah, blah. It only then took the emails and then, what's her name, Donna Brazile, to essentially say Hillary was using the DNC as a part of her, an arm of her campaign. So finally what Tulsi had stepped down for was validated. So no one should be surprised because Hillary is going to hate the very first person who betrayed her, if you will. So of course she goes after that. But I think the second thing the reason she went after her is because she is a threat. I mean, how low of a person do you have to be to vote for a war, okay, that then America realizes was a mistake, then you're caught at several times saying, oh, well, we should look at this as an opportunity for our American companies. Yeah, let's profit off the dead innocent people. But how low do you have to be to vote for a war, not learn from it, do it again in Libya, not learn from that, and then do it again in Syria and not learn from that, and then to turn around and go after one of those people who actually fought in those wars you voted for and advocated for, and then kind of said, yeah, I mean, it wasn't properly handled. No, it was a war crime. So she has to go after that person because if Hillary jumps into the race, right, what would she hit Tulsi with? The Assad thing, Assad this. All Tulsi has to do is turn around and go, I went for diplomacy. Why are you giving paid speeches to Saudi dictatorships? I mean, it couldn't be possibly quid pro quo, could it? So, I mean, she can easily hit her with all these things over her head 100 different ways. But for Clinton to go after her like that, and not even have the courage in the podcast to say her name directly and say, like, oh, I'm referring to Tulsi. She just hinted at it and just kind of tap danced around. I'm like, well, that just shows kind of the cowardice that you are. So she can easily hit her on the head with these war things. But I'm just saying, like, no one should be surprised. And I just finish off with saying, yeah, look, Tulsi is my number one because I think until we end all these wars, right, we're not going to be able to get things done in America. Because all we're going to hear is, how are we going to pay for this? How are we going to pay this? Well, how are we paying for $4 billion in Afghanistan every month? How are we going to pay for the Iraq war? You know, but I'll say this, though, like, there's Bernie because he is the Medicare for all. You know, I work on an ambulance, and believe me, I support it 100%. I love the Medicare for all because I hate having to fill out all these insurance things when we pick up a patient. My job should be helping this person out, not helping and at the same time trying to get the information for their insurance. But let's remember, she also, so Bernie's to the left of her on that, but she's also to the left of Bernie when she's talking about whistleblowers. Right? She said if she was in office, I would pardon Julian Assange and Chelsea Manning because they told us what our government was doing is illegal. But I mean, you know, I just want to say there's goods and bads, but I'm actually happy Hillary Clinton went after Tulsi because it just showed how pathetic of a person you are because you didn't serve. You want to be in all these countries, Hillary? Fine, go grab an M16 and go stand post in Kabul or something. Until that happens, I don't want to hear it from you. 2. This is just her little jab and trying to do this. But once Tulsi hits her over the head, what she did was saying, yeah, you're a warmonger, and she has no rebuttal. She can't say, well, I'm not. All you heard in the response was pearl clutching of, oh, such language. It's just pathetic, and, you know, no one should give Hillary even the time of day with this stuff. But I think I agree with you. There's a double standard. Like, why isn't the media blowing up? Like when Pete Davidson made that joke about that Navy SEAL, they should all be losing their minds. Like you're going after somebody who fought in a war that you voted for and really didn't apologize all that much. So, you know, let her go howl at the moon. This only helps Tulsi. I don't think she will be vice president because I think they have to have like a committee to decide for vice president. But I think Secretary of State is something that the president appoints. So, and that's more power than the vice president. So we should all be looking. Hopefully, she becomes Secretary of State, if anything else, because that's the power that can actually pull back our military and stop this type of stuff. But I'm sure there's other callers. I don't want to keep it on. Tim, you're killing it, man. I'm glad to see you branching out. You know, nothing but style and policies from you, brother.
That's it, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, Sam, for calling up, man. And look, I agree with you that Anna needs to bring on subject matter experts, man. Like, look, one thing about me, man, is I'm very humble, and I know that there's a lot I don't know. But one thing I do is I have an open door policy for subject matter experts. So call up the Gray Zone, Anna. You heard Sam. Get the Gray Zone in there, Johnson. Get Ben Norton. You don't like Ben, get Max in there. Don't like Max, get Aaron Matei in there. But get somebody in there. Stop running off at the mouth. You don't know this stuff. You're relying on CNN. Come on. So, hey. 412, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hi, Jim. Hey, Wolfpack. It's Ule. How you all doing?
Ule, what's up, sis? How you doing?
I'm good. Oh, wow. I'm listening. I called in at the second caller because she said something. I'm like, okay, I wasn't going to call in. I was going to call in after last night's show. I made a couple of notes, and I'm like, you know, I don't, and this ties then directly into this whole Tulsi Gabbard thing, of which I was completely clueless until tonight, because I was one of those people, worked all day. I got home at 9 o'clock, and I just started reading on something that I think Ginger posted. I'm like, wait a minute, okay. So that old witch came out of the woodworks to throw mud at Tulsi Gabbard. I mean, that's basically just a nutshell what I got, and then you came on. So while I'm listening and had all my own thoughts, the second caller mentioned something about the domestic politics and the foreign politics and why the domestic politics were more important to her, and that's all fine and well, but that ties into why I was going to call originally, because all last night after you rant about the, you know, Warren and everybody being asked what their plan is on how to finance their various agenda, you know, Medicare for all and education, student loan forgiveness, all that stuff. And I'm like, I don't get it. It is so easy. Why do they keep asking how you're going to pay for it when we have expected to be $750 billion military budget plan for 2020? Why do these people keep asking how we're going to pay for these programs? How we're going to pay to take care of the citizens of this country? The money is right there. Why doesn't any of these candidates come up and say, I'll tell you how I'm going to pay for it. I'm going to cut military spending, and that's how I'm going to pay for your health care, and that's how I'm going to pay for your education, and that's how I'm going to finally pay reparations to descendants of slavery in this country, which is a major issue that I really need people to wake up to. That is a major movement, an important issue, and there is no moving on for this country until that is resolved. That's just a footnote. But so while I'm thinking this all day, it's like, why don't anybody say this? Why don't anybody say this? Why don't anybody say this? Then I come home, and here, flipping Tulsi Gabbard basically came out and said it. Okay, because what Tulsi did, Tulsi called out the military-industrial complex. Yeah. And in order to say, like, okay, I'm going to cut the military spending and I'm going to pay for your programs and for my people, you have to call out the military-industrial complex. And that, to me, takes that takes such big balls. And, I've had my criticism for Tulsi in the past, and I think, nobody is free from being criticized, not if you're a politician. I mean, by virtue of what you are, you're in a public person at that point. And so you're not beyond criticism, and you're not beyond, people observing you and what you say and what you do. But I have always said that Tulsi Gabbard is incredibly intelligent. I mean, her intelligence is so refreshing because there's so much dumb talk in those,
Right.
We don't need to name people, and also what I always thought was a very strong point for her was her status as an active military member. Yeah. So I think that it has a lot of more maybe conservative-leaning people looking at her in a different way. The people that always claim to be such good patriots, they can't, So there's very little you can come at Tulsi Gabbard for. Yeah. There are detailed little things, specifics that you can come at and say, I don't like what you said here at that day, about this particular whatever issue, but overall there is very, very, very little you can come at Tulsi for. Her record speaks for her, and her speech has been consistent for years. So, and we know why nobody else comes out there and says, it's very simple how I'm going to pay for all this. I'm going to cut the military spending. I'm going to cut that budget in half, which would make the United States still have close to 4 times more than the next biggest military spender, which is China, and it would pay plenty. And for the people, we are so close. And when you look at, if you pick 4 candidates and 4 driving forces of people and whom they line up behind, so you see the issues. There's the environment, there's our social welfare inside this country, there's foreign politics. People are sick and tired of paying for killing other people just like them elsewhere. And then the next driving force, which I pointed to earlier, is the reparations for American descendants of slavery. So you have Bernie, and you have Tulsi, and you have Marianne Williamson. And like you just said in your last commentary, you build a group, you appoint the people according to their knowledge and their expertise. Absolutely. And then, once we get that together and the people can start bickering among like what is more, a little bit more, or perhaps a little bit less important, all these issues are equally important. We just individually have different priorities of where we stand. If we can't set that aside, then there's no helping us, because ultimately we all want the same. We just want to live our lives, know we can see a doctor, know we can aspire to the education we would like to aspire to, and know we're all equal. And once we get that, come on, man. And that I think, the time is ripe. We have to do this now. So that's all. I'm still catching up on the Tulsi Gabbard thing, but it's I think it's fantastic. She stepped out and flat out called out the military-industrial complex, and I'm a pray for her now. Keep her in my meditations. And the same to you all. Have a great weekend. Take it easy. Bye-bye.
Hey, thank you, Uli, for the phone call. We appreciate you. Good hearing from you again. And I tell you, man, big time stuff, guys. Big time stuff. 515. 515, you're live, Freedom Friday.
Tim?
Hey, how you doing? You're live.
Hey, Tim, what a great show.
Thank you.
I've been following you since 2016.
Wow.
And Bernie, I'm a big Bernie supporter. Love Bernie. But I think this thing tonight was a huge adrenaline shot into the base. Somebody, a Democrat, finally calling out Clinton corruption is so exciting. It's like, and I'm sorry, but Bernie has never called it out. He should have. He's been cheated. He was cheated when they gave, in the debates, in the primaries. It's making me sick. And the person that calls him out is Tulsi Gabbard. And I'll tell you what, she won my vote tonight. I'm for her. I think she has called out the Democratic establishment for what they are. It's just ridiculous. What do you say?
Hard to disagree with it. She called it out. She sure did.
Well, yeah. And she called it out big time. What more do people need to decide? And for me, I'm going to put a Tulsi 2020 sign in my yard. I think this is kind of bad for Bernie. Bernie has been bunting. He's failed to attack Joe Biden. He's failed to, he's kind of been disappointing.
Say what? He failed to attack. He just leveled Joe Biden 3 days ago.
Yeah, but he really didn't call out Biden when Biden attacked him on Medicare for all.
Yeah, he did. He called out the Iraq war. He called out
how he was gonna.
No, he didn't. He called out the Iraq war. He called out bad trade deals. He called out NAFTA. He called him out on like 4 things in a row.
And he ought to call Biden out for supporting the Iraq war.
He did. Where did you watch the debate? That's what he did.
Well,
he did.
I don't know.
Yeah, he did.
He really needs to go on the defensive more. I don't think here Gabbard is hitting home runs, and he's just kind of a pacifist. And it kind of is sad because his message is spectacular. It's one of the best messages of the Democratic Party that there has been in years.
I disagree.
And,
man.
It's just kind of it's not being. It's
You wouldn't even know who Tulsi Gabbard was if it wasn't for Bernie Sanders.
Well, no, I wouldn't.
So what are you talking about?
but then again, she's carrying the torch a lot more than he is. She's more fervent.
Not according to his volunteers and his donations and his offices and his number of donations and his amount of donations and his war chests and his polling and his black vote and his Latino vote.
I just donated $25 to her tonight.
That's good. Amazing.
And I can't I can't tell you that I marched in a parade with Bernie earlier this year before. And I tell you what, I just don't think he's carrying the message like she
fair
is.
enough, man. Fair enough, my brother. Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, now.
I'm sorry, man.
No, it's nothing to be
That's
sorry
just the way I
about.
feel right now.
No problem. Thank you for the phone call, though. I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, man. I just disagree, man. But we could disagree. I just, like, Tulsi Gabbard she's not a 30, 40-year-old, 40 years in politician. She's new. Like, I look at it like this. You walk in like me. There are people I used to work with who still worked at the place I worked at. I stopped working there. I started doing my own business. I'm not a better person than them. I just got to a point where this was my time to do my thing. And I know some of them see me, we got social media. They see me doing my thing and maybe I inspire them, but as a person, I'm not a better person. And people have different times, different seasons for different reasons. I still believe that Bernie's doing what Bernie has to do for Bernie. Tulsi's doing it her way. I don't think this would necessarily work the same way for Bernie. I just don't. I think I'm glad Tulsi's doing what she's doing. This is her moment to do it. I'm glad she's doing it. But Bernie being rigged set this up for Tulsi to even be able to do this. Do you understand? If it wasn't for Bernie getting sacked, getting it robbed from him, I don't think Trump would have won. And if it wasn't for that, I don't think Tulsi could do what she did, which is call out Clinton and people go, yeah, that scumbag. Like all of it works, like they say, there's nobody's in a vacuum. Everybody benefits from who came before them. So let's not pit Bernie against Tulsi and Tulsi against Bernie. They're both amazing. They're doing amazing work. Bernie had a heart attack working his ass off, and you say he don't do enough. Because Tulsi sent out some tweets. I mean, I love her. I'm glad she sent out the tweets. But Bernie's the one that had a heart attack doing with the energy of running around the country selling Medicare for all, $15 minimum wage, and making Amazon pay some damn taxes and all the other policies we love. And you don't give him any credit for that? He could have died, man. And Tulsi sends out 3 tweets, and you're like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So let's have a little bit of balance and say it's okay to love them both, man. It's okay to love them both for who they are and for what they bring. Because they're both more courageous than most of the people who will call this show tonight. And I love you guys, but a lot of you, who knows what you do for a living? I don't know what you do for a living. How many of you are willing to quit it? How many of you are willing to walk away from it? I know some of you have probably done it, but I bet you're in the minority. There are a lot of people that are listening to this show. There's over 500 people watching right now. How many of you do a job that you don't totally believe in? Let's keep it 100, guys. How many of you are doing a job right now that the better angel in you says, I should quit that shit tomorrow? How many of you will do it? I'm just saying, people talk. Politicians are people too. Now, I give no cover for the Kamala Harrises, no cover for the Amy Klobuchars, no cover for the scumbags who, I give no cover for those people. The John Delaney's, don't get me twisted, but maybe I'm more diplomatic than some people, but I look at it. I've lived a little bit. I know what it's like. A lot of people won't walk away. We all learn from somebody else. And I say once again, if there was no Bernie, there'd be no AOC winning in New York, which maybe there'd be no, Ilhan Omar. Maybe there'll be no Rashida Tlaib. Maybe there'll be no squad. We all feed off one another. People play a role. So all the roles won't be the same. That's all I'm saying. All roles are not the same. You can't get everything from everybody. So much love. I love them both. And I'm going to ride that way the rest of this election. I'm going to do my damnedest, right? Because I can't. I'm going to try every inch of me, right, to keep it that way. Because that's the way it should be. I'm not going to agree with everything. I'm still going to call out stuff. But at the end of the day, there's the establishment and there's those that are not. At the end of the day, there's the establishment and there's those that are not. All right, can we agree on that? We don't agree on everything, but can we agree that there's two groups here we're talking about? And Elizabeth Warren is over there with the establishment. That's why you don't see the hit pieces. What was the last smear job on Elizabeth? Can't name it. Where's Corey's? Where's the hit piece on Corey? Where's the hit piece on, so we can define our heroes or our champions by who the enemies are? Think about it. Bernie can't be your enemy if they robbed him. They're the same people. They get robbed by the same people. So anyway, I'm going to go to the next call, man. We're coming up on 3 hours, so guys, we got to make the calls quick. I'll try not to go on rants. 267, you're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Yeah. Hello, Dame. How you doing?
I'm
it's
good.
Louis, the soldier from Philly.
What's up, Dale?
Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
Oh. Yeah, I'm all right. You know, little by little, just getting every day one more person to register and get ready to vote for Bernie. We're going to wake the shit out of the establishment when we kick their asses because they think like those fake polls that they keep putting out, like, trying to say, like, oh, Bernie had no support, Bernie is fading and all this stuff. And they think they're going to, that's going to happen when the vote happens. And, I'm so glad there's so many people. Like, whenever you talk to people, like regular people, like I drive a cab, so I talk to poor people. Some rich people sometimes, and you know how that goes. But poor people. And poor people, the only thing they say every time you talk about Bernie is he's the one who makes sense. All the other ones, like, you see them to explain a lot of bullshit. And sometimes I understand when people say, like, oh, Bernie should sometimes get more specific. I love specific and stuff. But poor people don't have time for that. They just want to understand, like, oh, are you going to pay for this? Yes, they don't really care about how you're going to pay for it. That's the fucking media. That's just for the people who got degrees and shit like that. Poor people don't care or how they're going to pay for anything. They just want to get it. And that's it. And the only problem is that a lot of poor people, unfortunately, they don't vote because, just the establishment keeps them from voting. So they just want them for the general, so they don't want them on the primary. So you see them that they don't try to get and excite them. They don't try to excite them on, like, right now. You see, like, you don't see no other people trying to get people, but you see, like, sometimes I talk to people and they say, oh, somebody else already talked to me about Bernie. And I'm like, oh, really? Somebody else already talked to you? Okay. You never see them like saying, like, oh, I already like Kamala Harris or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, so that's all, man, and keep doing the good work. I really like your show. I watch it. Sometimes I can't call because, I be driving. Some people, don't like that. But today I decided to take the time just to holler at you,
Man, thank you for calling in, man. I appreciate you and you giving us the word on the street, man. That's always great, man. And I agree with you. Like, they try to suppress the vote during the primary because they want to rig that shit. I mean, see what you did, man. You know what I'm saying? But we got something for them. We got something for them. I love it, man. We're having a great night, man. Let me go to 808. 808, you're live. Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
My name is Mike, and I'm calling from Hawaii.
Mike from Hawaii. Oh, man. Is this a Tulsi Gabbard fan on the phone?
Absolutely. I live in her district. I voted for her 4 times, and I got to say, today was the best day to be a Tulsi Gabbard supporter of all the times I've been a supporter of hers. Wow. That stuff on Twitter, oh man, well, what does cable TV have on this? What does watching some reruns of some sitcom have on reading Hillary Clinton get called Queen of the Warmongers? So listen, Tim, I have an idea that I'd like to run by you and see if you think it's a good idea.
All right, brother.
You know, I listened to that last call, well, not the last call, but the one before, and you kind of got into it with the guy about, the two different approaches. And I think you're basically right. So my idea is what I think Tulsi needs to do moving forward is, well, first of all, she just needs to keep doubling down. Because what happened today, it's not going to go away. It's going to keep going. Like this is what happened today on Twitter. That's going to keep. That story's not going to go away anytime soon. So she needs to keep doubling down on it. And well, my idea is, and this is what I want to know what you think about, is I think now is a perfect time for Tulsi Gabbard to start making the argument against Elizabeth Warren that I don't think Bernie is willing to do. Mainly calling out Elizabeth Warren for claiming that she's off big money, and she's not really off big money, and claiming that she's not going to take big money in the general, but she is going to take big money in the general. She's just going to do it for the party. Now, I mean, I love Bernie too, man, but he's not going to make that argument. He's not going to call her out on that. I don't see him doing it. But I think there's a perfect opportunity right now for Tulsi Gabbard to do exactly that. Because when Elizabeth Warren is up there on that stage saying, oh, it's only me and Bernie who are off big money, that's a double lie. It's a lie because she's not off big money, and she's not going to be off big money. And it's also a lie because Tulsi Gabbard is off big money. So I think she's in the perfect position right now with all this media attention that this tweet is going to garner to start pinning Elizabeth Warren to Hillary Rodham Clinton by, saying, hey, what exactly are you guys talking about behind closed doors? And start hitting her on her lies about, money and politics. So that's my idea. Keep it short, but what do you think about all that?
Well, look, brother, I appreciate your phone call. I'll tell you this, man, and I'm going to try to keep it short as well. I think that some people, I disagree with the idea, right, that people see Bernie not going after Elizabeth. It's not time yet. Trust me, it's not time yet. Right now, people who don't have as much to lose, who are trying to get from whatever position, lower position that they are in the polls or, in fundraising or whatever, it's their time to go after the big dogs. As the field gets more narrow, that's when you risk it and you go after Elizabeth. You don't do it now. It's no reason. Bernie's not going nowhere. Elizabeth's not going nowhere, okay? They're going to be here through. We already know that. Joe Biden, he's not going anywhere either. They're going to be here, man. With Tulsi, you're right. Tulsi's game plan must be it's different than Bernie's. It's not just because they got different personalities. It's because they're in different positions tactically. People keep thinking they're supposed to do this thing. They're not supposed to. No. Somebody said, Tim, you got the boxing analogy wrong when you were talking about the boxing or whatever. But check this out. The champ don't have to go after it. He's already ahead. The challenger has to take more chances. So I'm going to leave it there, man, but I agree. I agree with you for the most part, but just wanted to clear that part up. That's the only part that I have a little difference with you. And I hope you see my logic in it. But, yeah, what a hell of a night, man, and you're right. Not every day you're going to hear Hillary Clinton be called the queen of the warmonger. Oh, man, I remember when Trump said it, similar things in 2015, and I was yelling at the screen. I was like, wow, I can't believe that Trump said that. I didn't vote for him, but I felt good hearing it, and I saw why other people would. Shout out to the ghost of H.A. Goodman. H.A. Goodman left, man. All right, 614. 614, you're live Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment? 614, my friend.
Hello, Tim Black.
Hello, my friend. How are you?
I've been here from all the way from down under.
Yes.
I've been hearing all the back and forth. and I almost missed that tweet. I just glanced. I'm like, huh? What? I tried to look. Okay, did Hillary send a tweet out or what? I couldn't see anything. Then what really got me going was Cory Booker's official Twitter had the meme of that one when was it the first debate or the second debate when Beto O'Rourke was speaking Spanish? That one that he was looking as if you had seen a ghost. He put his own meme there. I laughed for minutes and minutes. I'm like, seriously, this cannot be Cory himself. Probably one of his staffers put it. Anyway, Johnson. Anyway, long week. Bernie coming out of so-called heart attack. So-called. Of course, CNN had to do their usual stuff, not giving him enough time to talk, which was good because the little time that he had to talk, he hits Joe Biden with all those ones, which I didn't expect because Bernie is not the attacking type. That's not his personality. That's what people need to understand. That's not his personality. But when he gets angry, that's when he goes after you. And of course, Joe Biden, from calling him a socialist to all this thing he's lying, now he's saying he's trying to con people, whatever. Anyway, that was good. Then this happening, then seeing Kamala Harris in same position as Tulsi in the poll, 2%. And Crystal made a comment, it's all fun and games until Yang passes you in the polls.
Yes.
I'm sure she is regretting that comment about the top-tier candidates. Anyway, she's done.
Yes.
Anyway, but there was an argument, there was a discussion that you were having about policy, having the best policy, foreign policy or international policy. For me, well, I can't vote anyway, but for me, I don't know. Tulsi, she's all over the place, in my own opinion. Whether she's for Medicare for, she's not for Medicare for, now she's not saying Medicare choice. That's basically the same thing that Buttigieg was saying, and she's always, for some reason, appearing on Tucker Carlson. I don't get it. And that's her interview with what's his name, the comedian.
Trevor Noah or Seth Meyers or
anyway,
Stephen Colbert, one of them.
She basically started talking about snowflakes and basically parroting Republican talking points. So I don't know.
Dave Rubin.
She just confused me most of the time. But anyway, it's a good thing that she went after Hillary Clinton because, as the other caller said, Bernie will not do it, but good on her. Anyway, the great week is that, which the mainstream media keep on saying that Bernie's done and whatever. The donation, he's getting the highest donation from all over the country.
Yes.
So I don't see how it's done, even by a long shot. So I don't believe those people. Anyway, sorry for my whole rant. I'll let you continue your show. Keep on doing what you're doing, Johnson. Take care.
You take care too, Alvin, man. Thank you for calling up, man. As always, a joy, man. And
sure.
And yeah, you're right, man. Like I know the Dave Rubin thing, that bothered me too. I forgot about that one. That did bother me, man. I was like, come on now. This guy's up there saying that, I just don't like Dave Rubin. Anyway, but as far as her going on Fox News, they give her a platform. I was supposed to go on Fox News Sunday. They called me up, and I'm going to go because it's a platform. I'm going to be me. I'm going to be the same guy that I am now. It got pushed back until November, though, because of the ceasefire in Syria. They want to cover that this weekend. So I will be going on Fox News occasionally because, they like my show, or somebody said, hey, this guy's crazy. This guy, Tim Black, you need to bring him on. So that's what they're going to do. But I'll keep you up to date on that. So anyway, the point is, you can, I don't fault her for going on Fox News. She got to go somewhere. It's about what she does, and it's about what she says when she's there. So as long as when you go on Fox News or wherever you go, you keep it 100. Keep it real. You maintain who you are. It doesn't matter where you go. It's just a new audience. So take the opportunity to make some conversions. And believe me, when Tulsi Gabbard goes on like Fox News, she wins people over. Don't forget that. She's got a campaign to run. Got to raise money. She's got to get voters to come out. This is a big deal. So she has even more of a reason to go on Fox News. People who are Republicans who voted for Trump, they may just be Trump voters as opposed to Trump supporters. And they don't like watching MSNBC. That makes them feel bad that they voted for Trump. So they watch Fox. And then they got Tulsi Gabbard, and they go, that's who I'll vote for her over Trump. And there you go. So let me go to the next call, guys. 561, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment? Oh, damn. Hold tight, guys. Hold tight. One more time, 561. There you go. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
Can you hear? Okay, hey, what's up, guys?
Hey.
Yo, I just got to give a shout-out to the chat. Yo, they're saying some really funny stuff on here. Yo, it's Gilbert from Florida. So, couple things. Tulsi Gabbard, I don't know if you checked out her Medicare plan. I think it's called Single Player Plus or something
That's
like that.
what it's called.
Where,
Yes.
Where I think it has public and private on there, but I think the way it gets kept alive is by everybody paying.
Okay.
Or something like that. I don't know. But I like what you guys are doing over here. Just wanted to say something real quick. Yang supporter, I do want my $1,000 a month. I'll take that over federal jobs guarantee any day. I already have a job, but an extra 1,000 would help. I think Tulsi came out for UBI also.
Yes, she did.
But I only see 3 people on that stage that are probably true to their word: Bernie, Tulsi, and Yang. If they had like something where they all come together to do something good for the country, I'd really like that.
Wow.
But I like what you guys are doing. Another shout out to the chat out there, and thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for calling up, man. And I get that a lot from the Yang gang, man. They say like they're not, they don't have an issue really with Bernie. They just, Yang's their guy. And hey, man, I'm not going to argue with you, man. I understand why you would say $1,000 would help. Who wouldn't it help, right? I mean, well, I guess if you were well-to-do, well-off, it doesn't really matter. That's one of the reasons why I've always looked at it like, look, a single mom gets less help than a family of a couple that's affluent. That bothers me. Makes sense? I get it. We can disagree on it, but what gets me when people act like that doesn't make sense, I'm like, well, first of all, they would get 2 checks. She would get 1. So they end up with $2,000. They're already making $200,000 each. She makes $30,000. She gets 1 check. Get it? That's why I'm like, what the hell? Logically, it makes no sense, Johnson. And don't tell me we got to get the rich people to come along with us. They ain't got to get... Since when did the federal government care about what you thought about how they spent the money that they print? Nobody. I never got my survey in the mail. What do you think about us with this military spending, Tim Black? Chuck the box if you want us to spend $18 trillion this year on military or whatever. Nope. Oh, darn it, Tim Black. We would have passed that if it weren't for you. Nobody cares what we think. Anyway, I'm gonna go to the next call, man. Thank you for calling in, though. And I'm not aware. Like, I don't understand these people that act like they don't understand how there are people who could use $1,000 a month. Like, it's real basic. They make $3,000 a month. They'd rather have $4,000. You can't wrap your head around. Who can't wrap their head around that? 4 is more than 3, dumbass. All right, Johnson. Let's keep it moving. 703, you're live, 703. What's your name? What's your comment? Hey. 703. I got a 703 number in the queue. I'm going to try to come back, 703, before the phone line dies on us. 317, you're live from Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment, 317?
Hey, what's up, Tim? I'm going to keep it real simple. Pragmatic cynicism on Twitter. Look me up. I was always going to say is Hillary Clinton, whether she likes it or not, had sexual relations with that woman.
Oh!
She got raped on Twitter, and she reminds me of a Boy Scout that didn't get touched as a child, being like, "Oh, it's hurt my self-esteem." That's about all I gotta say. So.
You said she got raped. Well, you used a different term than I was going to use, so I was going to go another way. But I hear you, Johnson. There was a something happened. And I don't want to use that term because that's a bad term, man. To use for jokes. That's what they tell me anyway, Johnson. But yeah, something happened. I'll be keeping moving, man. You guys, stop trying to get me kicked off YouTube. I just got my license back. I can't be around nobody bad, Johnson. 360. 360, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment? Oh, damn, what's going on? 360, you left? 407. You're live on Freedom Friday, 407. What's your name? What's your comment?
Oh, hey.
Hey.
I've been listening to your show.
I can't hear you, my friend. I can't hear you.
Hello?
Now I hear you a little bit better. What's up, guy? How you doing? Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Hey. Hey, Tim. I've been listening to your show since last election. You always speak the truth. I'm currently working 2 jobs so I can become a patron. Tulsi lit Hillary's ass up. So,
I lost you again, man, but I like the beginning of this.
Okay, so I've been thinking, by Hillary's logic, Tulsi Gabbard was the DNC vice chair and a Russian spy. So wrap your head around that.
Yeah. They need to do a better vetting process, Johnson. You guys appointed a Russian spy.
All right.
Good one, Johnson. Good one.
That's all I have to say.
Good one. No, you're on point, man. Man, a few words. Don't forget to join, man. I'm going to hold you to it. But that's a good one. Damn it, Johnson. I didn't think of that. Can I use that? You guys, you're supposed to be the sharpest tools in the box, and you end up recruiting somebody off of Red Sonja or Bullwinkle and Matilda. Like, you recruited a spy for the DNC. Oh, man, Debbie Wasserman, what's up, man? Your picking skills ain't so good. You got the Arwan brothers, now you got Matilda the spy over here. What? Robbie Mook, what's up, man? How you guys let that slip by you? All right, I'm going to go to the next call. 334, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Still Black.
What's up?
It's Jesse Smith calling from Alabama.
Jesse Smith, man. It's been a minute, man. Aren't you a politician, Jesse?
It has been.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm not. I ran for U.S. Congress in Alabama a couple times, but I'm on the sideline still fighting, though.
That's what's up, man. What's on your mind, Jesse?
Oh man, I was, just lapping up this whole Tulsi Gabbard, Hillary Clinton thing, and I was thinking, they always talk about how, this group, the Green Party, or people who voted for Jill Stein elected Trump. Well, number one, Trump won the Electoral College, okay? So his Trump supporters, they're basically irrelevant at this particular point. So if we look at the email that went out from Clinton's headquarters by the DNC, taunting, elevating Trump as president, I think it's safe to conclude that they elevated Trump. The DNC is solely responsible for Trump for trying to elevate him as a way to make it an easy victory for Hillary. That's just my thought on that, Johnson.
Well, Jesse, man, I agree with you, brother. Definitely agree with you, man.
Hey, and as always, man, keep doing what you're doing, brother. Your Cory Booker thing, man. I scream. Oh, okay, people. Okay, I just want to love. We just want to love. Okay. Hey, man, keep doing what you're doing, brother. I love it. And hey, I'll keep watching, brother. Hey, keep doing what you're doing.
That's it, Jesse, man. Thank you, my brother. Thank you for being a fighter still, man. You're still a fighter in the game, man. That's what's up, man. We need you on the field with us, man. Yeah, Jesse Smith, man, out of Alabama, man. Follow him on Twitter. Yo, that's funny, man. You're right about the DNC and WikiLeaks and what those documents reveal. Remember, the documents that are in WikiLeaks, those are actual emails. It's not an article like someone wrote an article. No, it's the actual email that they wrote, that they sent, that had directives on it for what the media was supposed to do. The DNC sent out an email telling everybody in the DNC to reach out to people in the media to elevate Trump and elevate Ted Cruz and elevate Ben Carson. These are the Pied Piper candidates. We want all of the attention to go to them, to elevate them so one of them becomes a nominee because we can beat them. And then we get this rules about it being Russia. That's because most Americans don't read, Johnson. At least not enough of us read, right? So anyway. Then we got Chris Cuomo, that scumbag, going on CNN telling people it was illegal to read them. You have to let us read them for you or read them to you. It's against the law for you to read for yourself, Johnson. You gotta go through us. All right, so I'm going to go to the next call, man. 478, you're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, hi. My name is Chad. I'm 27. I'm a Bernie supporter.
All right, Chad.
I'm gonna try to make it quick. Okay. I got a kind of a beef with Tulsi supporters. All right, small beef. Instead of using this, what you did as a way to put down Bernie Sanders. Because what she did was awesome, calling out Hillary Clinton, whatever. They didn't remember if Bernie didn't have the balls, all right, the kahunas to go against Clinton in 2016, then Tulsi could have easily just became Hillary 2.0. Because she was about to be crowned Hillary 2.0, basically. So.
Okay. All right, Chad. Well, look,
instead of trying to put down.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad.
No, you good. I understand. I get your point, Chad. I get your point. And it makes sense. I'm going to leave it there, man. I want to go to the next call. But I get your point, man. And you got a point there, right? That's why I was saying we all build off one another. You know what I'm saying? I think that Bernie, look how many people ran against Hillary. Very few people, to your point, Chad. So that inspired Tulsi. It inspired Nina. All of them inspired AOC. The movement, the Bernie movement, inspired so many other people. Brand New Congress, the Justice Democrats, like this. Everybody. So we look, guys. Look, I don't want to rant too much because the phones are about to go out. I'll try to finish it up talking about this because Chad brought up a good point. But I don't want us to go at each other. We just have to be more thoughtful. 913, you're live, Freedom Friday. So hang in there, Chad. 913, you're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Yo, young Stoshi coming from middle of the map, man.
Yo, what's
Love
up,
your
man?
Show. Yo, I just gotta say, man, Yang 2020, man. I don't understand. I see people in the chat saying like you can't pay for it, or like it's gonna run the rent market. Like, look up the repo market, man. We're bailing out the banks right now. I mean, like, they're pumping $75 billion into the financial markets at this very moment. So it's like we can pay for it.
I hear you, man. I hear you. Look, guys. Like, when it comes to money, thank you for the phone call, my brother. When it comes to money, you know, I have to always refer to my MMT people. And look, I invited not Stephanie Kelton, but a Petrinovich. I invited an amazing person to come on the show, and she said she was going to come on the show, and then I didn't hear from her. But I do have somebody from Federal Jobs Guarantee is going to come on. But I wanted to bring in somebody about MMT. Okay, so I'm still going to do that. It just won't be who you want it to be, Johnson. There's got to be somebody I want to bring on. I hold grudges, Johnson. Back to my point about the last caller. Everybody builds off everybody, man. So we got to stop going at each other about who's more important or who owes who. Everybody owes everybody. Bernie owes FDR. You know? Come on, everybody. Look, we all build off one another. Bernie owes MLK, who owes Malcolm X or owes Medgar Evers, or like we all who owes John Brown, who owes Harriet Tubman. Like come on, guys. We all build off one another. So let's not get into the thing where it can only be one. Nah, there could be more than one good person. I mean, there could only be one Johnson. Or only one Tim Black. There's a lot of Johnsons, but there can only be one Tim Black. But there are others who are great, right? So we just don't do. Let's try not to do it. I know it's easy to get sucked in to doing that. When you hear somebody knocking your candidate, they don't speak for everybody, right? There are a lot of people who don't feel that way, like they want to take a knock at Bernie or knock on Tulsi. So at least tonight, can one night, listen. We are Democrats, and I'm a Democrat, and you're a Democrat. And Jesse Smith called up, and he was saying, we just got to have more love. We got to heal. Damn it, we got to heal. You know what's funny, guys? Oh, guys, I got to show you this. I've got to show you this. Let me see if I can pull this out real quick. Damn it, I got to type. I got to show this to you because this is hilarious. I just saw this. Somebody on the phone, I think it was my friend Alvin from Australia. Damn it, that's not it. Let me see if I can do this. Let me get this. I got to get this for you guys. Why did that attach? Hold on a second here. Oh, that's an image. How can I do this? There we go. This is the one I want. So anyway, guys, I got a video. It's Cory Booker. I just checked my timeline on Twitter. And I saw this and I thought this was hilarious. Because I've been calling Cory Booker out lately, right? Now, I don't know if he did this because of me or if he just did this because this is how Cory Booker does it. You know what I'm saying? Let's see if I can find this real quick. There we go. Here we go. And let's see if we can run this real quick, guys. Because it's kind of funny. Damn it, where is it at? Here, maybe? Here it goes. So on Cory Booker's timeline, look what I just saw. I just saw this.
Dead.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Let me try that again, guys. It was there, then it went away. That's
Dead.
This is Cory Booker. This is Cory Booker's response to Tulsi Gabbard calling out Hillary Clinton.
Dead. Dead.
Listen, this is
Dead.
It's not right what we're doing. Listen, when I was the mayor of Newark, I would have never called Hillary Clinton a warmonger. She's not a warmonger.
Dead.
She just likes war a whole lot.
Dead.
There's nothing wrong with liking war. We just gotta get along. When I was at Stanford. Anyway, I thought that was hilarious, guys. Get up for Cory Booker, have a sense of humor.
Dead.
See, this is the thing, guys. Hillary Clinton is she's very unpopular. There's only a few people that like Hillary. That's like women over the age of 55 or something. Between the 55 and 65 or something. I don't know. I'm joking. I don't know what the demographics are, right? But she does not have a huge coalition of people. That there are people that voted for her. Yeah, she got a lot of votes. But see, we don't count first downs. We count touchdowns. That's how you win football games. We count baskets, not fouls. So this is just how it works. Sorry. So electoral college is what wins games. What wins elections. And Hillary is bad for the Democratic Party. I started tonight telling people nobody wants Hillary coming out of the woods. Only Hillary wants Hillary coming out of the woods. There's no Democrat. I'm telling you right now, look, imagine how Amy Klobuchar and Joe Biden feel right now. They're going to get lumped in with Hillary. This is horrible for them. Johnson, they do not want this. They don't want it, Johnson. They want Hillary back in those woods. Get in those woods, Hillary. Don't you ever come back out. Amy's like, I was just starting to get a little bit of daylight, and then I have a problem. Why did you come out? Why did you are making it harder for me, and I can't deal with it being harder. And my father, he was driving a car, he was drunk off his ass, and we had to put him in a home, and then Hillary came out of the woods, and then now we're here, and I don't understand. It's just, and Minnesota. Shut up, cop. Shut up, cop. All right, so bad cop. Anyway, guys, thank you so much, everybody who called in tonight. We had a full house, man. Had great callers tonight. It was good hearing from you guys. We back on the channel. I'm loving it. Thank you so much for hanging in there with me. Thank you for coming back. Look, I'm Real Tim Black on Facebook and Twitter. Thank you to all the new Wolfpack members that came on. Thank you for joining the crew. You're a part of a community. We got a group on Facebook called Speak On It Group. It's free. Join it. Become a member of the Wolfpack for at least $5. Give what you can to the show. We're doing great things. We're going to kick some butt all the way through 2020 and beyond. That's what we do. We speak truth to power. Much love to everybody out there, whether you're a Bernie supporter, a Tulsi supporter, or a Yang supporter, or a Marianne Williamson supporter, or if you just support yourself, or if you were, or if you're paying child support, or you were in a support group, or I don't know any other support, or you need back support. I don't know. So it's much love, man. Thank you so much. Let me go and see if there's some comments out there I need to read because I know it was some I hadn't got to everybody. and I need to try to get to everybody. So I'm trying to remember where we left off, okay, because we got some people that donated. Mr. Daly to you, Bethlehem, I remember you, Cannabis Sativa, SS Breon, Larry the Truth. CNN has the greatest house Negroes. You talking about Bakari Sellers. You talking about Bakari Sellers, man. Bakari Sellouter. Sellout. That's the 8-pack. He's the 8-pack track. 8-pack sellout. 8-pack. Dream Korea. Osama Kasim. Didn't get notified I was live. What's going on with this thing? Make sure you hit the bell. Did you hit the bell to get all notifications? Man, hit the bell, man. I don't know what's going on with that. Thank you, Osama, man, for the donation, my friend. Sean Graham, Tulsi's the only candidate that stands a chance and gets Trump next year. I hear you, man. I think Bernie has a chance too. I believe that. I think he does. I think the numbers show him. He's beating Trump in Iowa right now. He's the only candidate that's beating Trump in Iowa right now. I know it's early. Big Surreal. Thanks, Tim. Great news for someone who hates the news. That's what's up, man. Thank you, Naughty Vegan. Thank you for all you do, Tim. Love Tulsi. Hey, man. Hey, look, you got good taste. Krillin 876. Is there a long line to call in? There was. Woo! I never thought I'd get through all those calls. And everyone got a chance to speak. It was like 25 people, man. Boris says, aloha, Tim. Thank you for your honest, hilarious, intelligent insight. Tulsi needs our help, guys. Don't give up. Yeah, don't give up on Tulsi, man. She fighting. Tulsi fighting. Warren keeps in touch with Hillary, says B4. MSM backs Warren. Hillary, stop popping up on talk shows, and now this crap. Plan is Warren Clinton. Coincidence? Nope. All right, man. All right, now. Darth Whiffy says, echo chambers like this will help get Trump elected. Mayor Pete can destroy Trump if it weren't for the bigoted, homophobic, African. He said black people are bigoted. Yeah, that's the problem with America, Johnson. Those blacks are just so bigoted. That's the problem here. That's what's wrong with this country. We just got through 100 years of Jim Crow, 400 years of slavery, and somebody named Darth Whiffy says, that's the problem with the country, the bigoted blacks. I'm the first male born in my family who has all the whites as a white guy, and we've been here 10 generations. And you said the problem with America is we got too many bigoted black people. You can't make this shit up, Johnson. You can't make it up. Next thing you know, it'll be people saying, I mean, what's next? You're gonna blame, if it wasn't for the ants, it wasn't for the ants, we wouldn't be, we wouldn't have better picnics. Damn those ants. What are those ants doing messing up our picnics? Well, just pick your basket up and move over there. Move your basket. It's too much work to just move your basket, huh? These damn, you to kill all the ants because they're in the way. They're ants. And I'm not saying black people are ants, but I'm just saying, man. You got all this area. This one white guy. And you really think Pete Buttigieg can beat Trump? Man, look, I'm a proponent of legalizing cannabis. I support it. But you've been smoking meth laced with crack. You think Pete can beat Trump. No, you like Pete. Just say you like Pete. Don't pretend to know anything. Just don't pretend, Johnson. This is how the Democratic Party works. We always vote Democratic en masse. So your idea that we're racist against Pete is ridiculous. Because except for Obama, we've always voted for white guys. Maybe we just don't like Pete's fake ass, whatever he is. Hold Hi. This is Pete. Maybe the blacks don't like white guys who don't know what to do with their hands. Maybe if he's not comfortable with his own hands, he ain't comfortable enough to come to our cookout. Hey, look, if you're going to spend $5 to make a bigoted, stupid-ass comment, I'm going to roast your ass for it, Johnson. Tom Zito's a new member. Give it up for Tom. And Snook Y2K gave $2. Go ahead, Snook. And Mike Thompson, what's up, Mike? Thank you for the donation. Joshua Calvert, the war machine doesn't make money during peacetime. Military-industrial complex and media can't let Tulsi win. Time to raise awareness. Let's expose mainstream media. I believe you're right about that, Joshua. Joshua also said, whether you're progressive, libertarian, conservative, we all must realize MSM works against all of our interests. Tell your friends and family to turn off the news. Hashtag turn off the news. I love it, man. That's what I'm talking about. That's what's up. Joshua Calvert, pretty good comments, Joshua. I appreciate you. Schultze 101. Time for some Johnson Merck. Christmas is coming. You know what? I'm going to do some Johnson stuff. I got some Johnson ideas, Johnson. Princess Queen says we spend $3.4 trillion now, and Medicare for all costs us $3.2. What's the problem, Johnson? We're already spending $3 trillion. Long May says burn Tulsi 2020. Bernie Tulsi 2020. I feel you. Right Brain Studios. Love the show, Tim. We got Tulsi's back. Tulsi is a veteran. Jill Stein is a doctor. Hillary Clinton is a chicken hawk and sent millions to their graves. That's my man. What's up, Right Brain? What's going on, man? Right Brain Studios. Go find those guys on YouTube, man. They did a documentary that I'm in that's amazing. Kevin Ronka, the whole crew over at Right Brain Studios. Shout out to Graham Norton as well. Not Graham Norton. Graham Elwood. Graham Norton's the comedian, right? All right. Right Brain Studios. While she hid behind stacks of money, oh God. While Right Brain Studios says that Hillary Clinton hid behind stacks of money, big dollar fundraisers, and turned the DNC into her own cash register, the revolution will be televised. 11/2020. I love this. Patrick Seguin from Canada says, I voted anti-establishment and left the NDP for the CDN federal elections. Right Brain Studios is still killing it. Tim, why do your phone lines jam so fast? Man, there was so many people, Kevin. It was crazy, bro. It was crazy. The topic tonight brought everybody out, man, and I'm damn proud of these guys. Really proud of you. David Marcel said Tim Black is the voice of the left. Man, thank you, David, man. I appreciate you, Johnson. All right, guys, that's it. That's all. That's everything. I just want to say before you leave, we all we got. All right? I know it's hard to keep our focus because we get emotional about our candidates because we want change to happen in this country. But we are literally all we got. I'm going to try to do my part to keep it that way. I will call out issues. But at the end of the day, there's two groups of people. If this was a seesaw, we'd always be in the air. The progressives or the people, the change makers, you don't even got to be a progressive. The people that want change, the people that want a better country, the people that want money out of politics, the people that want everybody to have the ability to go after it, to live a life that's not subservient, people to have equal footing in this country. That's this people. And these people are always going to be in the air because it's always, when it comes to this, these candidates, it's a lot of them on the other side of that seesaw. So right now, guys, Bernie and Tulsi, you guys want me to put Yang up there, don't you, Yang Gang? You want me to put Yang up there. I'm trying to tell you, man, Yang, I want to put him up there, man. I do, because He got mad the other night. You saw that? Yang got pissed off, man. He's ready to beat somebody up, man. I've never seen Yang even have gas or nothing. He looked pissed. I want to put Marianne Williamson up there. I want to put Yang up there. I want to put Marianne Williamson up there anyway because she's the only one who believes that reparations make sense. Who was willing to say, we need more than a study, we need to get it done. But, look, guys, there's only two groups of people here, all right? And we can argue, but we know we got at least 20 other people sitting down here on this other seesaw, no matter who you are. I don't think anybody's going to argue with me that John Delaney's sitting down there, and Beto's sitting down there, and Pete's sitting down there, except for the Pete supporter. The Pete supporter came in here. Guy had 2 broken arms. Anyway, guys, I love you. I'm Till Real Tim Black on Facebook and Twitter. That's it. That's all I got. I'll see you next week. Remember, sprinkle some facts on them. Sprinkle some facts on them this weekend. Don't argue with them. Just sprinkle some facts on them. And don't let nobody take your cornbread. Tonight, Tulsi Gabbard epitomized what keeping your cornbread looks like. She did that. It is what it is. Respect. All right. I'll see you guys on the next one. Stay safe, man. And remember, how can I say this? No, it's all good, Johnson. Everybody's a Johnson. Sometimes. Peace. Gotta have love, ladies and gentlemen. Tim Black. Listen, when I was the mayor of Newark, I met Tim Black. He used to hang out with T-Bone. T-Bone was a bad guy. Oh, fiddly sticks, Tim Black. Fiddly sticks, fiddly sticks. Daggone it.